Hello and welcome all you football fans to Canton, Ohio, home of Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium for this Division II state championship game. Ty Bartell alongside Mike Ackelson with the call of this one between what I would say is the most anticipated high school football match of the year between the Archbishop Hoban Knights coming in 13-1 against the 15-0 Massillon Washington Tigers.
This is a case of two colossal energies that are finally going to collide. It's what everybody wanted. Everybody's excited about it. And when I pulled in tonight, Ty, I got here at 4:45. The Massillon fans came in full force. They were lined up and wrapped around the sidewalk here around the Canton Hall of Fame, just waiting to get in. They have really represented out. There might not be anybody in Massillon tonight.
There very well may not be. I know I got into the city of Canton around 5 o'clock. I didn't actually get a parking spot until about an hour later. So you're talking about a lot of traffic that was here 2 hours prior to kickoff. We're about 20 minutes prior to the opening kickoff here. Both teams set to meet in the middle. But the story of this game, really, the defenses of both these teams and what they've been able to do all season long. Both of them just averaging a little over of a touchdown against one another.
Well, and when you look at the Hoban defense, it's led by that front interior. Those guys have gotten after it. They create all the room for the linebackers to roam, and the DBs have had excellent coverage. And what I've been impressed with by the Knights, the second half, when they make their halftime adjustments, they just shut teams down. They basically say, this game is over. Our defense is going to take over.
Knights are donning their all-white unis with the navy blue numbering and the gold trim. The Tigers donning their all-black unis, orange numbering and trim. As crowd is still piling in. You said it, Massillon, Washington side, pretty full. Hoban side, pretty respectable as well. They're starting to pile in there as well. But this is an atmosphere unlike any other during the regular season. Hall of Fame Stadium's getting packed, and this is, like we said, two teams that I think everyone in the entire state of Ohio has been wanting to see.
Yeah, and it's one of them games that could go down. And when I started to look at and do a little bit of research this week, Ty, the one thing that hit me up real quick, this isn't the first time these two have tangled for a state championship. They've done it twice before, and both times Hoban has come away the victor in that one. And they've played some pretty good ball to get there. So you look at the way things have broken down, but I'm going to get touched a little bit back on this defense. This season, Massillon has only given up 114 points. They averaged 7.5 tackles for a loss in a game. They're only giving up 7.6 points a game. That is incredible. So you know that they've got a very good defensive team. But for Massillon, there is a great big albatross just sitting on the shoulders of them. They have never won a state championship in the playoff era. All their titles, 24 of them, come prior to that, 1970 being the last one. So you got to know that there's a lot of pressure on these kids when they walk on that field tonight.
It's a tale of two tapes, right? 24 state championships for Massillon before 1970. Like you said, it was in that kind of voting era where it was voted upon who was state championship. Hoban, meanwhile, since 2015, 5 state championships in that playoff format. In this decade, since 2015, in the last 10 years, Hoban really has been kind of the class of this Division II.
Not only they've been the class, they've been here 9 times, and they've won 8. So you look at that, and you're just like going, holy cow. I mean, I'm sorry, they've won 5.
Yeah.
So you look at it, and you're just like, wow, what a program they built. And you look at Tim Terrell, who's from Youngstown, went to Ursuline High School, went to Youngstown State. His record at Hoban, 129 wins to just 21 losses. That lets you know that he has built a really, really good program here.
Little tail of the tape, Hoban Knights averaging 33.2 points per game. They allow 7.7 points against them per game. Meanwhile, on the other side for Massillon, 40.7 points per game, 7.6 points allowed per game. Very close on defense. Real quickly on the offensive yards, too. 218.9 rush yards per game for the Knights, 86.4 pass. For the Massillon Washington Tigers, 249.4 rush yards per game, 155.6 pass yards per game.
Well, and the one thing that the Hoban Knights are going to see a lot of tonight is Dawan Owens. He is their do-all-everything quarterback. He's the first quarterback in Massillon's illustrious history to ever rush for 1,000 yards in one season. But he can also toss that rock around. He's thrown for over 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns through the air. He has rushed for 15 touchdowns. on the year, when you talk about this rushing attack, and this is where I think this really squares off. If Hoban can shut that run game down, boy, they could really be able to pin their ears back, and that lets JPS, that lets Tanner Mintz just go do their thing. It's if they stop that rushing game. 52 touchdowns on the ground this year. That's incredible.
It absolutely is. You talk about 52 rushing touchdowns, 80 total touchdowns for the Massillon Washington Tigers, and a total of 33 by DeJuan Owens, as you were mentioning. So he is a huge contributor. Meanwhile, on the other side, too, Tylen Boykin, the quarterback for the Hoban Knights, they call him Juice over there. And we've seen it time and time again, Mike, that ability you said to squeeze the extra yardage out of plays. They come up with something when nothing seems to be there, squeeze everything out of a play. He's been exemplifying that. He's also had a good season, over 1,000 passing yards, just under 500 rushing yards. He has 17 total touchdowns this year as well.
He's been fantastic, and he's a guy, I'll go a little Ben Roethlisberger-esque here. He finds a way to extend the play. He doesn't always go down on the first hit. He's always looking. He's got his eyes up about him. We do know last week we watched, there was a real close play where he threw the ball. He was just over the line of scrimmage. It would have been a touchdown had his foot been behind the line. But you look at the way he makes plays, he opens up things. But that rushing attack for Hoban has been what they've lived on. Not only do you have Juice, but you got Caleb Jones. He's over 1,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, let's throw in a freshman who's closing in on 1,000 yards, and Brayton Feaster, and he's also hit the house 10 times.
53 total touchdowns on the offensive side, but Hoban still, that defense has also come up with some big scores. You look across the Hoban Knights this year, they have a total of 6 pick sixes this year. Excuse me, check that. 7 pick sixes this year. Tyson Campbell leading the way. 3 of them this season. Albert Hill with 2. Eli Lee with 1. And then Tanner Mintz, we saw 1 earlier in the playoffs as well. So this is a defense, too, that can also score in high volumes and high rates as well.
Well, and the thing I like about the Knights defense is they're very opportunistic. They like to set up that offense on short field. And every time we have seen it, Ty, since we've been with them in the playoffs, when they're on the other side, the opponent's 50 or in, they have made them pay. They have not missed one time.
One player I'm going to be looking at too, Mike, and you mentioned him a little bit earlier, Caleb Jones. He's a man of over 1,000 yards rushing. But how about this? The last 2 games, an interception on defense and a touchdown on offense, at least 1 and 1. So he is contributing on both sides of the field mightily for this Knights team in the big stretch.
And he is the only player that goes both ways. He is the only one on that Akron-Hoban team that suits up. And I thought last week maybe they were saving him because that was a bruising game against Avon. And all of a sudden when they put him in, and I like the way Coach Terrell approached it last week. All right, we're going to use Williams on this series. We're going to go to Feaster on this series. Well, he went with flash and speed, and then all of a sudden there was that pounding, and that was the one that decided the game with that touchdown. And I look at it, Caleb Jones is a difference maker, and he's been that way all year. Oh, lose Mr. Football? They replaced him.
And you look at this entire team, too, both of these teams, it's been a tale of the same season as far as competition that these two teams have faced. They have faced some of the best schedule-wise. You look at that, Massillon in 15 games, their opponents this year, 117 and 63, a 65% win percentage. Other side for Hoban, in their 14 games, their opponents 116 and 52 overall. That's a 69% win percentage. So really good winning teams across the board. Both these teams have beaten.
Now let me throw something out to you. Hoban, in their schedule this year, Ty, St. Ed's. Oh, they're playing tomorrow night for a state championship. Oh, Cleveland Glenville. They're playing for a state championship. They were 1-1 against some teams, and they only lost 14-7 to St. Ed's. A couple other teams I want to mention. It's Frederick Douglass from Kentucky. They played them and beat them. They're playing in the state championship this weekend. And there's one more. It's Trinity. They were the state runner-up in their game, so they finished second. So you want to talk about battle-tested? Yes, Hoban's battle-tested. You want to talk about Massillon being battle-tested? Yes, they are.
And you talked about some of the teams Massillon's faced out in Valdosta, Georgia, too. The most wins in any football program in high school history in the entire nation, too. They played them this year and beat them, too. So one of the other program that sits just above them in all-time wins. And, of course, Massillon gunning for that top spot, no doubt.
One of the weird things I've always heard when teams come here, that they always say it takes a couple series to get adjusted. It's like it's still 100 yards. It's still 10 yards in the end zone. for Massillon and Hoban, this should be nothing. They've all played games here. They know what it's like. They're familiar with the atmosphere. So when I look at this game tonight, like, there's no advantage to which team has played here more or not, because they're both used to playing here at Tom Benson Stadium.
We are about 10 minutes away from the opening kickoff. Before we go into our first commercial break and gear us up for the opening kick here in this one, what are some keys to the game for each team in this one from you?
I think the key for Hoban is they're going to have to be able to run the ball, and that's they're going up against the stout defense. So whoever wins the battle in the interior, there's asterisk number 1 for me. Whichever, if it's the Hoban Knights offense wins that battle, they're going to have a good night. But if Massillon's wrecking and wreaking havoc and making tackles for loss, all of a sudden it could be a long night, because I think the advantage is if you force both teams to pass, Massillon might have a little bit of an advantage there, because Hoban has relied on their speed and their quickness to run the ball most of the season. So I think if you're Massillon, you want to establish the run, control the line of scrimmage, and defensively you want to put the Tigers in 3rd and long. That would be the 3 keys for them. Now, if I flip the ball to Massillon, you want to shut down the Hoban run. That's their first priority, I would believe. Secondly, they want to keep their option open, and Owens will be the key to that. If he's able to pitch an option and they stuff it, or, defensively sound, and that's what Hoban has been. So it's just, it's just 2 forces meeting each other, and which one's going to come out on top.
I believe Tigers won the toss. They elected to defer, so they'll be kicking off here to the Hoban Knights. Hoban to receive here in the first half, meaning that the Massillon Washington Tigers will get that 3rd quarter kickoff. That, of course, in the playoff time, that's a big one, too. A big one out of the gate. So this first drive going to be interesting to see how the Knights react. We are about under 10 minutes away from the opening kickoff here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Ty Bartell, Mike Ackelson, YSNLive.com. We're going to be back with that opening kick after this.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
House troubles can attack anytime. When trouble strikes, call Mighty Mike. Your hometown hero is on his way. HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Mighty Mike Heating and Cooling will save the day. Commercial or residential, 24/7. For quality service you can depend on. Call your hometown hero. Call Mighty Mike.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships.
We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team.
Your goals, our game plan.
Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
Shopping for a vehicle online should be easy and worry-free. Introducing Merge from Greenwood Chevrolet, a completely new way to buy a car that combines the convenience of shopping online with the personal touch and expertise that Greenwood is known for. With Merge, shopping is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Choose a vehicle from our pre-owned inventory, build a deal that fits your needs, and finalize the deal with our online buying team. That's car buying in a new lane. Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and let us go the extra mile for you.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Coca's Pizza, your high school football headquarters. Come to pregame with half-off select appetizers in our dining room starting at 5 p.m. Also want to stay for the game? We'll be playing it live. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
And that was the conclusion of our national anthem here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, home and host site for this Division II state championship game between the Archbishop Hoban Knights and the Massillon Washington Tigers. Ty Bartell alongside Mike Ackelson with the call of all the action through these 4 quarters, and we are just moments away from the opening kickoff. Knights to receive it.
Absolutely electric here, Ty. Both sides of the stadium are packed. The middle of each section is completely full. The ends are filling in. People have flocked here to see this one. And this is the one, like, you hope that the hype of the game lives up to be played that way. And that's exactly what you want. So should be thrilling, should be fun. We'll see how it all breaks down.
I mean, like we said, I think it's no doubt the most anticipated high school football matchup of the year in the state of Ohio. I don't think there's any 2 bigger teams you could have put together in the same game this season than these 2. We might be a little bit biased, of course, but these 2 are the ones that throughout the whole season, it kind of felt like they were just 2 trains on that same track on a collision course, looking at each other from afar. Well, now it's go time now.
And it was all about getting there. And it was funny because I was talking to a couple of the Massillon guys when they got here. They thought Cincinnati Anderson was going to be a really tough game last week. And all of a sudden, it's a blowout. Like, it just snowballed. Well, then, we all walked in thinking, well, they've handled Avon. Avon gave Hoban everything they could want. And I think that might have been a better way for a team to face a state semifinal game, that they had to fight and claw every inch of their way to get to the crown jewel.
There's definitely advantages to both sides. Obviously, Massillon had that whole second half to rest, ensure that they have their best guys, starters on the field. But for the Knights, I mean, they had to claw their way through that win too. And sometimes those kind of wins build character and can help you in these type of games.
Well, and that's one of the things I want to talk about. One of the leading tacklers for Massillon is not expected to play, but he could be forced into it, is Pringle. He's their second leading tackler. He will likely only see action if they are absolutely pressed into it.
As Vinny Keller, kicker for the Tigers, has made his way onto the field as the Tigers set up at that 40, ready to kick it away.
Oh, this is fun time. Here we go. I cannot wait. Division II state championship game.
As the Knights 3-back ready to receive the kickoff. It's booted away. It's leaning towards near side of the field. Takes a bounce at the 20. Hauled in there. Still on his feet and pushed out prior to the 25. So the Knights going to start this first drive just shy of the 25-yard line here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. First chance to see Tylen Boykin Juice, they call him here in Hoban.
Yeah, here comes Juice and company. And the thing there, that was kind of a weird kick. Like, usually that ball takes a decent bounce here. It was kind of like a dead bounce when it hit the ground there. But now we get to see the vaunted defense of Massillon going up against Juice, Caleb Jones, Xavier Williams, and an offensive line that is only playing all 5 starters. This is just their 4th game of the season.
Trying to find that chemistry, hoping that they have the best kind here in the most important game of their season. It's been the Knights' dream since losing last year at this stage to get back here. Well, they are here. Into the motion, Xavier Williams gets the jet sweep and gets tackled for a loss back at the 20, as already pushing them back are the Tigers. You mentioned that a ridiculous number of tackles for losses on this season.
Yeah, and they start the game with one just right like that, and that was just right in there, and that was number 3. He just jetted in on that one, and Dorian Pringle. So they didn't know if he would play. He is playing.
Trying to air it out, pass down to the 50. Flag comes in and a pass interference. Going to be called, no doubt, here on the Tigers as the intended target trying to go long down the field to number 1 for the Knights. As you see the passing attack that time, they're going to try to get it early and often here because you want to get those fouls, but you also want Massillon to be aware of that passing game as well.
Well, it is a good thing because now you can't start stacking the box because they've shown you, like, hey, we're not going to be afraid to throw it. That ball's almost completed, and if the DB, I think he could have just left his hands off him. He did not need to push him there at the end to get the pass interference.
As Tyson Campbell, not a target that often gets targeted over there in Hoban, but got targeted there and had a nice beat on it. Hoban comes out, 2 receivers each way, hands it off. Jones bumps some bodies, gets past the 35, a gain of looks like 2 on the 1st and 10 drive.
Good hard run there, but again, that Massillon defense just collapsing as soon as they see where it's going. They get guys. Those linebackers are moving side by side very fast and able to make plays, and they are able to just slide across there and do the things they got. Corey Fair and Pringle, those are two good tacklers.
11 minutes and ticking here. First quarter of play. 2nd and down and 7 to go for the Knights. Knights show 2 receivers, single tight end, 1 into motion now. 1 out far to the left of Boykin. 2 to that near side to the right. Handoff goes to Jones as Jones gets to the left side of that line, and a nice gain right near the marker. He's got it. First down, Hoban.
Really nice piece of running there, and that was all sprung. They pulled the right guard. He come around, he sealed off that block, makes a beautiful block, and that gave him the crease that he needed to get in there. And just like that, you've moved the sticks, 1 on a penalty and 1 now rushing the ball. And if you're the Knights, if you can establish this run game, that's exactly what Coach Terrell would like to do.
Knights on the 47-yard line, their own. They bunch things up a little bit more. Have a trips formation near side to the right of Boykin. Empty to the left, wide receiver also wide out near side to the right. Handoff, though, goes to Jones. Blockers in front of him. Jones gets the edge and gets 5+ once again. And really nice tempo the Knights are setting in that ground game right now.
They absolutely are, and that's the big thing. You look at their rushing attack, they average over 6.8 yards per carry, and when they're able to do that, it sets up such a world of opportunities because they're always sitting in second and short, and the playbook just becomes a vast variety of what you want to do. You can take a shot here if you want, or you can keep pounding, and right now that running game is working.
2 left, 1 right receiver wise for Juice. Out of that shotgun, he has 2 backs, hands it off. Flag comes in, though, prior to that snap, and it's going to go against the Knights. Looks like was it a false start? Yes, it was. And that's kind of been an issue during this playoff run. If there's one penalty that the Knights have gotten tagged with a ton, it's that false start.
That has been their Achilles heel, and a couple times, you've been able to get away with that. You're not going to be able to get away with that one because every play in a state championship game is magnified times 10. And, instead of sitting in second and short, now you're sitting at a 2nd and 8, I believe.
It is a 2nd and 8. Hoban spreads things out a little bit more. 2 left, 1 right receiver wise. Handoff still goes to Jones. Jones has a big hole, goes to the left of the line, goes barreling through a couple of Tigers past the 40 of Massillon, Washington, and another first down for the Knights. They're set up at the 38.
Boy, I like the way this offensive line is moving, Ty. They're just, that guard that's making the pull is absolutely coming around there and just decimating that would-be tackler, and it's working every time for them. And Jones, when he hits that hole, he is just exploding, trying to get as much as he can as he rips that one off from 2nd and long to 1st and 10. Got to like the way the Knights are approaching this drive.
8:40 and ticking, 2 right, 1 left receivers out of that shotgun with a running back on that left hip. It's Jones. QB draw for Boykin. Boykin sheds that first tackler, falls forward to get about 5 to 6 on that carry from the QB spot.
Wow, they are winning the battle up front right now, and that is a pretty big offensive line. When you look at the weight and average of theirs, and then you look at that's a smaller Massillon defensive front in there. They may eventually have to slide an extra guy in there because it's just Hoban's able to make holes right now.
Ball on the Massillon 33, 2nd down and 5 to go for the Knights. They show 1 receiver each way. Double tight end to the left, running back behind Boykin out of the shotgun, hands off to Jones, the running back. Jones again gets the left side of that line, very close to the first down, and I think they're going to give it to him. They say move the chains. So another rushing first down for the Knights, and this, you got to feel like if you're talking to Coach Timmy, this is exactly the tempo he wanted to start with his offense.
Yeah, right, absolutely. And throughout the year, we've looked and we've talked about this, Ty. The first quarter has been Akron Hoban's big quarter. They've scored more points in the first quarter all season, and they're doing exactly what they want, and they're chewing up a lot of clock while they do this.
7:25 and ticking, first quarter of play. Knights send 1 into motion. Setting up tight end wise, left of the line. Pass slant route goes over the middle, and it's a completion over the middle. What a pass and catch that time. And I believe, was that Hardman on the catch? It was either Hardman or Peyton Cook, both of them in that area. Oh, it was Braden Grant, excuse me, as again, the Knights, though, we saw them target Tyson Campbell earlier. They're targeting guys that you don't usually see get a lot of targets this season, but it's working in their favor right now.
It absolutely is. I like the fact that they're going pretty fast, no huddle.
Second down and 1, 6:45 in the first, goes to the handoff. Feaster gets the carry this time, fighting for that yard, and it looks like the Tigers pushed him back to force a 3rd and short. No doubt, though, this is 2-down territory.
That is the first time that Massillon has guessed right on that. They had enough people on that side. They were able definitely right. I think going for it here.
2 plays to try to get that 1 yard for the Knights. They line up on that 18-yard line of the Tigers. 3rd and 1. 1 receiver each way. Strong eye formation. The handoff tried to push themselves back as a whistle blown. They lost the handle. It's a fumble, and it's Massillon football. They tried to go for the sneak, Mike, and some contact initially, and it forced a drop ball and gave it right up to the Tigers a tick over 6 minutes to play.
Oh, that's disaster. Looking at the replay here, just a bad exchange. And for the most part, Hoban sets up in the shotgun. Very rarely do they go under center, and that time it was a bad exchange. And for Massillon, you survive Hoban's first drive. Now it's up to the defense, which has been tested way too many times and answered every one here in the playoffs for the Knights.
DeJuan Owens comes in, 3 receivers, 2 is right, empty to the left, 1 into motion. QB draw for Owens, and Owens getting the edge and getting tackled, but not before he gets to the first down marker, and that's going to be the one thing that the Knights somehow, some way have to try to find a way to bottle him up.
Well, and you can see, exactly why Owens is so explosive, because you have to play loyal to the run there, because he could have pitched that, and in the end, he just tucks it back in, gets under, and once he hits that line of scrimmage, he can move.
5:43, first quarter of play. Massillon, Washington already with a first down. They're at the 30, 1st and 10. 1 in a motion, 3 to the left, 1 to the right receiver-wise. The handoff goes nowhere, though, and the Knights push him back for 2.
Wow, big hit in there as they come in, and that is Devin Bell just absolutely blew that play up before it could even get started. Put him behind the change for 2nd down.
Bell has also gotten a safety during this playoff run as well, and safeties are a thing that the Knights have collected quite a few of during this season as well. Another accolade to that defense. 2nd down and 12 for Massillon, Washington, 28-yard line, their own. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Empty backfield, DeJuan Owens out of the shotgun, takes the snap, goes past near side, tackle immediately, though past the 30, so they looks like they got about 3 to 4 on that pass and catch.
Yeah, Grant out there on the defense, not a lot of room. Good tackle because he had to make that tackle. That was one-on-one the whole way.
Catch was by Braylon Tolles, and he's been a favorite. 45 receptions this season, leading the Tigers, also 600-plus yards this year. So Tolles with that catch, but it sets up 3rd down and 7 now, and a big 3rd down for the Knights trying to hold. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, snapping, going to the right, finding a hole. DeJuan Owens breaks himself through, has a clear lane, gets tackled, though, at the 40-yard line of Archbishop Hoban, and they flip the field in one play.
Wow, can he cut and move? He absolutely running in. I'm thinking he's going to be tackled, and then when he sprinted out, he did a nice thing. He used the referee as a screen, and that took them a couple angles away for the Knights. Big play, big way to move the sticks, and all of a sudden, they're sitting down in Knights territory.
At that 38-yard line of the Knights, 1st and 10, under 4 to play, 3:55 and ticking here in the first. 1 into motion, left to right, keeper for DeJuan Owens, and he tries to shuffle himself to the left. He still stays on his feet through the many tacklers to pick up another first. This kid, unbelievable.
Like Houdini, he got out of that one. He should have been down for a 2-yard loss, but he sprints that into a 1st down, and so far, we knew we were going to see a lot of him. He is definitely everything and has been advertised.
Down to the 24-yard line of the Knights, 3:30 and ticking first quarter. Still scoreless here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Stacked up in an eye, now shift the 2 tight ends for extra blockers. Taking the snap, handing it off, trying to attack the right side of the line, and the tacklers come in and stop the run after about 3 yards that time. Looked like got the carry that time. It was number 28 for the Tigers, and that is Mylan Lennox. Lennox, 327 yards this year, so he has an average over 5.5. They utilize multiple rushers, though, does this Tigers team.
Yeah, they do. And, good tackling there by Hoban. They limited the damage on that one because if he'd been able to bounce that outside, that could have been a big play again for the Tigers. So far in this series, that's what they've done. They've had a couple really big plays that have just springboarded this possession.
Second down and 8. 22-yard line of the Knights. Massillon is on, taking a snap. The keeper that time, Owen, just goes through the middle, and they tackle him after a gain of about 4, it looks like, 4 to 5, as he's about 3 shy of the first now.
Yeah, good run again. He's getting through there, and after the initial contact, he's just bouncing off. So if you're the Knights, you got to start wrapping him up because he keeps them legs churning and churning and churning and just moving those legs. He's tough to bring down, and he twists too, which makes it even harder. But you just got to get at those legs and take them out from him.
Owens with 2 backs, each hip, 1 receiver out wide, far side of the field to his right. Owens takes a snap out of the shotgun, tries to get to the left side of the line. Knights force him that way and get a big tackle for a loss to bring up a 4th down.
Big play there, and that was made by Braden Grant. Steps up in there. They were able to string the play out, so the Tigers weren't able to turn the corner, and I like the way Hoban approached that play because they come up big, drop him for a loss, and now you got to see what the Tigers want to do.
Only 1 field goal made this season for Massillon, Washington. They're 1 for 2 on the year. That one make was from 30 to 39-yard range.
Well, in judging, I'll let you talk.
It's going to be a 4th down. They're going for it. Minute 15 and ticking. 4th and 8 for the Tigers. 3 receivers set, 2 right, 1 left. Running back on that right hip, looking to pass. Owens on that streak route to the end zone, and it's broken up on the pass intended that time. Down the field, it was Braylon Tolles and Albert Hill. He has been dynamite this year. Breaks it up in a big 4th down stop. Turn it over on downs to the Knights.
Well, he had the big interception last week, but remember, he talked to us after the game and said he was so mad when he gave up the touchdown pass in that game because he thought he should have picked it off. But, boy, you want to talk about a game, you're going to have to really start thinking about this. With 1:05 to go in the first quarter, each team has had 1 possession. Each defense has bent but hasn't broken. You're going to want to take advantage of every time you get this ball because you might not get very many possessions in this game.
Do you like the aggressiveness on 4th and 8 to go for it instead of opting for points early on in what is expected to be a defensive game?
It all depends. I know Massillon has a kicker. I think I probably would have taken the 3 early and, build on that. But I like the gutsiness of we came here to win. We want to put, because they're saying our defense isn't going to give up a lot of points, so we want to get points on the board.
There's 65 seconds left on the board here in this first quarter of play as the Knights ready to break their huddle here. They're about to get the ball back. They had the ball similar to, like you said, Massillon did. Both these teams got within the 20, but that fumble on a QB sneak, kind of a misinterpreted play on that 3rd and 1, lost it for them. What do you think the kind of key points are from Coach Terrell in that huddle this time for this offensive series for Hoban?
I think he's probably just down there, let's do the same thing, but let's be very sound fundamentally, protect the football. We were able to drive on them the first time, and each team has only really, I think they've completed each 1 pass and missed on 1. So if you look at it the way it's going to go, this game's going to be played on the ground, and they're chewing up time faster than anything. This game could be over by 9 o'clock.
It very well could be. And so impressive. You talked about the defense, Mike. 149 points in the first quarter this season for Hoban, 195 in the first this year for Massillon. We're 65 seconds away from both being scoreless after a quarter.
And that tells you how good these 2 defenses are. And we kind of said that right off the get-go that it was going to be which defense was going to blink. And so far, neither one has blinked. They've taken a good punch from the other one. They've handled everything, and they've been able to get it done. The one thing we do got to remember in the state game is those extended TV timeouts.
Yeah,
so
those darn things.
That's why we're huddled up and waiting. But I like the approach here. I mean, if you're Hoban, you want to come out and do exactly what you did on the first drive. And, we saw a heavy dose of Caleb Jones. Feaster had a carry. Juice did 1. We haven't seen Williams run the ball yet. So, again, there's a lot of options that could come that way and come out of it. it's just going to be interesting to see how they want to go. I think the advantage so far has belonged to the Hoban offensive line.
Hoban has broke the huddle. Both teams back out on the field. Knight showing an eye look, but out of the shotgun, though, is Boykin. Trips to his left, single receiver near side to the field to his right. From that 22-yard line of their own, the snap, handoff, tried to go up the gut, and they got some good yardage going right up the middle. And usually a sign of good things if you can go up the middle and get 4 to 5 yards on a carry like the Knights just did.
And there was Xavier Williams. That was his first carry of the ball game. And boy, did he hit that hole just ever quick. When Jones comes through that hole, he's thundering. He wants contact. Williams just scorched through that hole and just takes off like a rocket.
Trips now to that left of Boykin, also a receiver far out wide, far side to his left as well. Snap, he rolls that way, goes the short way, but can't complete the catch in that process. Going to the flat that time, but unfortunate, the completion couldn't be made. 3rd and 5 coming up now.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think Tate Crable would like that one back. He kind of took his eyes off of it. He was thinking first down before he collected the ball, and he was already running. But that's a tough play because that was open, and it would have worked.
As Crable, like we said, too, another guy, only 7 catches on the year, too, but they're trying to get other guys involved and make Massillon worry about everyone on the field at all times. As they spread things out, 2 left, 2 right receiver-wise. Checking off with a play to his offensive line is Boykin. Steps in closer, has that running back on his left hip. That's Jones, takes a snap, shotgun, looking to run. They close the pocket quickly, and they force a tackle after a gain of a yard, it looked like, from Boykin on that scramble, but it's 4th and 4 now.
Well, and the Tigers defense did exactly what they wanted to do on that possession. They got a 3 and out, and that's what they're used to doing. So you go back to that second down play, you just missed it. But, hey, you got 1 quarter in the books, and it's still a stalemate.
It is the end of the first, and we are scoreless here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 4th and 3 for the Knights on the other side of it as they go to punt. And it looks like they're going to be punting with the wind, too, as they switch sides on the field. Ty Bartell, Mike Ackelson will be back with the start of the second quarter here on ysnlive.com after this.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
House troubles can attack anytime. When trouble strikes, call Mighty Mike. Your hometown hero is on his way. HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Mighty Mike Heating and Cooling will save the day. Commercial or residential, 24/7. For quality service you can depend on, call your hometown hero. Call Mighty Mike.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships.
We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team.
Your goals, our game plan.
Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update. Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
From on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1950.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the start of the second quarter here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Hoban Knights with a 4th down and 3. They are setting up ready to punt, but utilizing 2 receivers as well out wide. Back ready to punt is Burns back at that 15. He's able to boot it away. Takes a long trip and a friendly bounce for the Knights that'll go inside the 25 of the Tigers and recovered, it looks like, right at that 23-yard line by Albert Hill.
I'd have let it bounce 2 more yards because I think they could have got it down to the 21. But, hey, they cover it. Nice punt there. You kind of flip the field. Now you got to see what your defense can do. Can they force the 3 and out like the Tigers defense was able to do?
And this is going to be interesting because you talked about it and kind of hit the nail on the head, Mike. Way that both these teams are running the ball, they're burning a lot of clock quickly. 11:49 left in the second. Massillon still has that advantage of the third quarter receiving the kickoff.
They do, and if they chew up 8 minutes here and they get a score and you don't, all of a sudden you could be facing a double-digit up points.
They try to go for the screen pass, almost intercepted. Albert Hill knocked it away. He almost had a pick 6 in his hands. Dangerous pass by DeJuan Owens.
Every game I've seen, their defense has made that splash play, and that one almost happened there. That would have been big for the Knights because that really would have flipped the momentum of this one.
As scary pass right there, as second time only that the Tigers try to open up that passing game. They go 2 receivers left, 2 right. Owens alone in that backfield. Taking the snap, 1 in the motion, left to right, swallowed up as Owens on the keeper, tried to stay on his feet. The Knights say no dice, push him back 5.
Tanner Mintz was right in there on that play along with Ricky Williams, and they just really collapsed that one. And again, that's another play with a loss of yardage coming up, setting up 3rd and long, and that's perfectly the way Akron likes to play this game. They like to get into it. It's kind of been a chess match through the first few series.
2 receivers each way, running back behind that left hip of Owens. 3rd and 14 from the Massillon 19-yard line. Tigers ball. Now shifting over to the right hip for Owens. Owens takes the snap, looking to pass. Quick fire release. He gets it to that 25-yard line, but no more, as it's going to be 4th down and about 9. Call it maybe 8, right around that 8.5, 9 yards for the Tigers. And now they're going to bring on their punting unit. So both defenses, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, absolutely. And the second series, both defenses just shut down the offense. So now you want to see, this is where Akron Hoban had a great punt on their first one. What can Massillon do on this one? Can they reverse? Because if you look at where the Hoban players are standing, they're almost at the 50.
As putting the boot into it, not a ton on it, hauled in at the 40, and a tackle comes in a little after that, but the Knights cover it, hold on to it, and they will start on their own 40-yard line.
Great starting position. I mean, you're going to start at your 40, and that's what Hoban's been used to because there's a variety of plays you can do coming out of here, your first one. You want to take a shot deep, whatever, but let's see how they do. There had to be a little bit of adjustment after that second series because they didn't move the ball at all in that one.
10:18 left to go here in the first half of play from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Knights breaking their huddle from the far sideline and ready to start this next drive. 3rd offensive drive of the game for the Knights. Fumbled on their first, 3 and out on their second. On the handoff to Williams, X trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all he's able to muster, it looks like. Actually, they might back him up a half yard. It's 2nd and long.
Boy, the defenses are just flexing their muscles at this point. They are just crashing in there. And, when you said, well, anything you can do, I can do better. Well, now the Massillon Tigers defense is saying, we're going to really start showing you what we can do. And that is their 3rd tackle for loss, and they're averaging 7 a game.
On top of 3 tackles for loss, too. This is also a Tiger team. 44 team sacks this season, too. So they have an eye and a nose for that quarterback.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Snap. Receivers 2 right, 1 left in that shotgun, staying in it, going double cover down the field and losing the footing. That time it was going to Tyson Campbell. Campbell was looking for a PI call, kind of tried to sell it there. He was already doubled and then came in with the safety triple covered at the end, it looked like.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's into triple coverage, and he was really the only receiver that went deep on that play. But you look at it, they're just all fighting for the ball, and when it comes in, their feet get tangled up. You're not going to see too many flags come out of that one. It's going to be interesting to see what Hoban does, because now you're sitting at 3rd and 11.
Knights 3rd and long, bringing a ton of extra blockers, only one receiver. No, actually set up a trips now to the right, also receiver far side to the right of Boykin. Boykin rolls to his right, goes to that flat, finds the receiver, but the tacklers come in, and the tackling has been so good this game as the Tigers going to hold him shy of the first by about 3 yards.
They'll give you 7, but they're not going to give you any yak yardage. As soon as he caught that ball, there was 3 Tigers right there to just bring him down, and they were able to make a super good play on that one. Adonis Marshall just wrapped up the legs and said, no more room for you. And this is everything that's been built up. Like, these defenses are living up to their expectation.
Ryan Burns from his 30 lost the handle on it, able to get a boot, but no, he got blocked, and falling on it are the Tigers. They will have great field position as the punt, the snap, lost the handle on it. Did Burns? He tried to pick it up and boot it away. They were able to get their hands on it, and now the Tigers will take over inside the Hoban 30.
Looks like Malachi Card came up with the loose ball as they come in there, and
8:48 left to go. First half of play as we have another turnover. This time, though, in the special teams unit by the Knights on that fumble.
Chase Bond was the one who come in there and blocked it, but it's only because the ball, it wasn't a perfect snap. And again, that mistakes are magnified. You want to give Massillon a short field, that offense can strike, so it's up to the Hoban defense.
Trips now, 3 receivers out to that left, 1 into motion now, left to right, keeper by Owens. Owens sheds a couple tacklers, tries to go up the middle, but the Knights let him get to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard past that, but no more. And that's got to be one of the things. If you can keep him in front of you and not let him go left to right like that and just kind of keep him contained, that's one of the keys in trying to slow down this very dangerous offense.
Tanner Mintz was low. Ricky Williams was high. I think Williams was spying on him on that play, and he absolutely did not give him any room to run.
Empty backfield, 1 into motion left to right. Now 3 receivers to the right of Owens, 1 far side to the left. 5 blockers and a tight end blocking in front of Owens. Takes the snap out of the shotgun, looks for the screen pass, mishandles it, able to keep the handle. No, they're going to say it dropped on the ground. Good call by the official there to make sure the play doesn't continue. You want to call that. You want to make a motion. He was making the motion. He said it before anything really got off there, too. You don't want the crowd to get too excited, too, especially with
I'm sure he had to blow that whistle very loud because they were trying to continue it. And I mean, there's a lot of people here on this home side and the visiting side. This stadium is almost filled.
It's almost filled. It looks like opening a preseason game like you see in the NFL.
Hey, welcome to the Hall of Fame game.
8:01 first half. It is a 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers. Taking the snap, trying to get to the right, and again, covering it. The Knights don't allow a yard. So they get the turnover the Tigers do, but they don't get anything else beyond that.
Well, and they're probably going to go for it here because they're really in no man's land sitting at the 28, Ty. And the thing you got to look there, Caleb Jones was in on the tackle as they were able to string that play out. I like the way now they've adjusted to handling that option coming from the Massillon quarterback.
2 each way, running back on that left hip of Owens. Owens out of that shotgun before taking the snap, checks off. Mylan Lennox, that running back on the left hip of Owens. 2 each way still. Before the snap, whistle blown, and Coach Moore with the Tigers wants a timeout and wants to talk things over on this play. This is a big offensive play here. Turnover on downs. That would be the 2nd time that the Tigers have been in really good field position in the Knights territory and would have been turned away without points.
I think it's a good timeout to take. I mean, you're sitting at 7:14 to go in the 2nd quarter. It's scoreless. You've got a golden opportunity, and you're trying to take advantage of it because of the block punt. Yeah, it's 4th and 10, but you should be able to adopt a play with the way this offense has worked. And I like the way Hoban has adjusted. The last 2 series, they have given up hardly anything on the ground, and the DBs have been great so far. So they got to make one more play to get this ball back into their possession, And the way things have gone, Ty, that if they get a long drive here, it could be the final possession of the first half.
It very well could be. This is a huge play coming up as both teams in their respective huddles on the sidelines, as Massillon needing 10 yards. They're on their own, or on the Knights' 28-yard line, needing the 18 for a first down. And really, it's been impressive what the Knights have done. You saw DeJuan Owens and Caleb Jones for the Knights, too. That first drive, they were getting the lanes, they were getting the holes, they were getting some running room. But it's ever since that first drive, both these teams made the defensive adjustments. Now it feels like running room has become all of a sudden scarce for both offenses.
Yeah, it's like now it's going to become, we let you have your test run. You failed. Now we're going to give you the true test, and you're not going to get past us. And it's everything that we thought it would be, and it's living up to it. And, I heard some people say earlier they thought 28, 24, into that range. This might be a 14-7, 14-10 game. Could be the way it winds up.
We got 7-14 in the first half, and we don't have a point on the board yet.
It could be 7-0.
It very well could be.
But, again, I'm going to walk away from this. If this game finishes 7-0, I'm going to be like, wow.
Both teams breaking the huddle as this stadium, like you said, Mike, just about full. Hoban has filled their respective side. They were backed up on the highway, I think, trying to get into the stadium, but both sides full. Navy, gold, a little bit of white on the Hoban side, all black and orange on the Tigers side. Tigers 4th and 10, 2 receivers each way. Running back Mylan Lennox on that right hip once again of DeJuan Owens. So they're coming out with that similar look offensively. And a big 4th down and 10.
Yeah, what'd you dial up here? I mean, you got to think, you got one crack. At the minimum, you've got to get 10 yards. So that throw's got to be beyond the sticks.
They're going to go for the pass out of the shotgun, avoids it, and the tackle comes in, but it's going to be a horse collar as going to get the flags. The laundry comes in, and it's going to push the Tigers forward, no doubt.
Wow, did they flip him. JPS was in there. When he went to grab, the helmet came down, and he just happened to get a hold of the face mask. Tough play for Hoban because your defense actually was up to the task and made the stop.
As face mask the official call, and that is going to push them forward. So a 15-yard penalty and a gifted first down for the Tigers. So 7:10 left to go. Tigers fresh set of downs and an golden opportunity to get the first points of this game on the board.
Yeah, he almost twisted the helmet off Owens' head. He really,
1st and 10, 14-yard line now. Set up are the Tigers. Twin backs each side, each hip of Owens. Single receiver near side to his right. 2 extra tight ends blocking as well. Taking the snap, handing it off, trying to attack right side of the line. They pushed it forward for about 2, it looks like, on the carry. 2nd down and 8 now.
Lennox in there with the carry on that one, but not a lot of running room as they just bottled him up real quick. Ricky Williams in there to make another tackle.
Looking like they're going to come out with a similar set again. Extra tight ends in as blockers, single receiver, far side, 2 running backs. Snap, handoff, go to the big man that time. Bruising some bodies, and they finally get him down. 2 shy of the first. It's 3rd and 2.
Wright Jr. with the carry, and he just popped that one in there. Good move, and, they've had the fullback block him, but finally they give him a little bit of action, and he punches that one down. And he
only 113 yards for Wright Jr. this year, but 8 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, he is definitely he's got a nose for the end zone.
They go. One receiver now to the near side of the field. Right. Handoff. Try to go attacking the right side, and through the end zone is Lennox. First touchdown goes to the Tigers. It's 6-0 Massillon.
Really nice cutback on that one. He just had a little bit of a crease. Well blocked by the Tigers. They were able to get the guard. He moved in, took out the linebacker, and that freed Lennox for the exact room that he needed, and they draw first blood.
Vinny Keller going to come out for the extra point. 6 minutes exactly left on the clock here in the first half, and you got to feel that. Plenty of time for the Knights to get a response, but you kind of want to draw out those 6 minutes with this drive if possible, and you want that next possession for the Tigers to be in that third quarter.
Yeah, you do not want to go down 7-0 into the half knowing that they get the ball back and that offense can be explosive. They were aided by a penalty on that one. Hoban's going to say we handed them one.
Vinny Keller. Ball snapped, placed at the 10. Kick is up. Flag is down prior to, and a false start called on the Tigers, so they're going to back them up. So they're going to back them up to the 15 and force them to kick it again. So now the extra point going to be in the neighborhood of 25 yards.
A little further, but I'm guessing they got a pretty good kicker. He should be able to make it. At least it's right down the middle. So.
Yeah, right in between those hash marks. Still 6-0 on the scoreboard. 6 minutes left. Tigers in front looking for the extra point. Snap down, kick is up, and that one has made it through the uprights. 7-0 Tigers here with 6 left in the second quarter of play.
Big drive. That penalty aids them. I mean, you look at it, you got to stop because I don't think he was going to get out of there because the way the pocket was collapsing. But, hey, Massillon, give them all the credit in the world. They took advantage of what was given to them, and now they've got the advantage. And they're saying to themselves, okay, we're 18 minutes into this game. We've got what we want. We got a lead. But if you're Hoban, this isn't even panic mode. So only the third time all season that Hoban has been behind on the scoreboard.
And we saw what they were able to do last week and the second time all season when they were down to Avon too. Locked it up on defense. And really, it just comes down to the penalty game and that, because you said it too, Mike. They had the stop they were looking for, but you just got to be a little bit wiser too in those tackles. I know it's hard in the speed of the game too. You get caught up in the moment too, but at the end of the day, costly penalty for the Knights, and it shows on the scoreboard. 6 minutes to go as the Tigers break the huddle from that 40-yard line, ready to boot it away just inside of that near hash mark. Ready to boot it away is Keller. Keller with the free kick, roaming for the 30 as they're going to fumble it out of bounds too, as they could have also opted to just let it go. If it goes out of bounds, they get extra yards on that as well.
I think if I'm Hoban, I definitely let that one go out because you could be starting at your 40 instead of your 21 and a half, 22-yard line.
You got to feel if Coach Terrell's not happy about that one too.
Yeah.
And picking that one up or even touching it that close to the sideline.
Yeah. Now you got to come out now. What adjustments have you made? You've seen what you can do. The first drive, you had success, but a turnover. The second drive, nothing. Third drive, nothing.
Knights on the 22-yard line to start this drive, like you said. Going to come out 2 receivers near side. 1 to the right. Running back behind Boykin out of the shotgun. That's Feaster. Boykin takes the snap, hands it off. Feaster tries to go up the middle, gets wrapped up after gaining about 1.5 yards on the carry. Second down now for Hoban.
Not a lot of running room because those 2 middle linebackers for Massillon they fill that gap immediately. It's like they almost know what's coming and their instinct takes over. And boy, they love contact because they get right in there and you're going to feel it at the end of the game that you've been hit by a couple of good linebackers.
Second down. And 9 to go officially on the scoreboard. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Same running back in Feaster behind Boykin out of that shotgun. Tight end up on the line to block. Hardman goes into motion left to right. Takes the snap, hands off to Feaster. Spin move, gets himself to the 25 inside of it. But third down getting brought up now for the Knights. And now it comes down to you really need a first down here. You don't want to give the ball back up to the Tigers with about 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, no running room. It's just, this is just strength, will on will right now, what's going on down there. And it's a stalemate. And if you're Hoban, you've got to find some way to get something moving because the last thing you want to do is give them the ball back.
Feaster, backfield with Boykin. 2 right, 1 left. Shotgun look for Tylen. Juice takes the snap, stays in the pocket, looks to pass, goes to the far side, and a tackle immediately as the Knights are about 3 shy of the first. It's 4th down.
If Juice had taken a look, he had a wide receiver that was wide open. And I mean wide open. Nobody was around him. But again, you throw underneath the sticks. This defense is just too good for Massillon. They're going to cover that. They'll give you the pass. They'll let you have the 3-4 yards. but they're not letting you get any yak yardage after you make the catch.
Looking to punt, Burns puts a boot into it, gets a clean kick away this time, ranging back to that 25 and going backwards for the tackle. Where are you going as the Tigers lose yardage, going trying to make something special happen, and tackled inside the 20 and maybe an injury from it as well. As player down for the Tigers, that's number 24, Tyler Hackenbrack. And Hackenbrack, one of the favorite targets, one of the more favorite targets here for the Tigers, as Hackenbrack this year, you look at some of his stats overall and the amount of touchdowns he's had, it's staggering as well.
Yeah, he's come up. He's made some plays for him as this season has come along.
3 interceptions as well defensively, on that.
Yeah, so he does flip both ways, but he doesn't always play on both sides of the ball, all the time. But the way this is going, you hope he's okay. Hopefully it's just a cramp. If you're the Hoban defense right now, you got to step up. You need a quick 3 and out. Maybe you can get the ball back and make one last chance. But since that opening series, the Massillon Tigers defense has owned them when they've come on the field.
3:55 left to go in the second quarter. We got an injury on the field. We're going to take a real quick timeout and be back after this.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
House troubles can attack anytime. When trouble strikes, call Mighty Mike. Your hometown hero is on his way. HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Mighty Mike Heating and Cooling will save the day. Commercial or residential, 24/7. For quality service you can depend on, call your home.
We're back here out of that injury timeout. Hackenbrack able to walk off the field under his own power. So great sight to see. Never want to see our guys get injured. Right out of the injury timeout, they go with a handoff, trying to get the right side of the line. They get past the 20 and tackled there. So a gain of, looks like maybe 2 to 3 on that carry for the Tigers.
That was Jameer Gamble, and he initially gets away from the first guy, but after that, there's a lot of guys just to bottle him up and keep that gain to a minimal one. And if you're in the Knights defense, that's where you just want to keep them. Hopefully you can make a play here and set them up in 3rd and long.
945 yards rushing wise this year for Mr. Gamble. So he's one of the favorite targets out of that backfield for the Tigers. One receiver each way, running back on that left hip of Owens. They try to go up the middle, and the Tigers get pushed right back by that Knights defensive front line. And it looks like maybe a gain of a yard, if that.
There was 5 Hoban players to hit him when he got there, and he paid the price. And you gotta like it. He got a yard, sets up 3rd and 5, and Tim Terrell says, hey, let's take a timeout. Let's make a play here because we need to get some offense churning.
That's the first timeout for the Knights. 2 timeouts left for each team. 7-0 Tigers leading this one, and 3:09 left to go in the clock here in the first half. And you got to feel like that's exactly what you're talking about. We need this stop. We need to get the ball back, because if they can extend this out, you're talking about the potential of being down 3 possessions after their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no way right now, the way that defense is playing, they're going to have to come up with something. They've been able to make some nice adjustments. I thought defensively, yes, you made a blunder that opened the door for Massillon. Kudos to them. They took advantage and got the touchdown off the penalty. But if you're the Knights here, you've got to get off the field. Give your offense one more shot here in the first half.
As both teams break their respective huddles, ball is on the near side hash mark for the Tigers. They send 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, running back on that left hip, of DeJuan Owens. Knights with 1 safety back defensively, 1 in motion left to right. Now 2 on the left side of Owens. Owens rolls out to his left, looking down the field, wide open target, but a misfire. Well, not even a little bit high, but more or less a miscatch that time by the intended target, Jaquez Carter. He would have had to try to pull it down one-handed. The throw was a little bit high, but he probably should have timed that jump up a little bit better to make the catch.
Much like you go back to a few series ago when the Hoban tight end missed it. he took his eyes off it thinking I've got all kinds of running room, and just he didn't secure the ball first, and that's what you got to do.
Wide open that was too.
And he would have had a lot of room. They would have been easily into Knights territory. So
punting from the 10 now, and not a ton on it. Awkward spiral as it goes out of bounds near midfield. So the Knights with 2:58 left, they're going to get it just at their own. It looks like 40.
No, they're still walking.
No, they are still walking too. The Tigers, one of the Tigers players put it on the 43, trying to convince the officials. We're not in Massillon though anymore. It's up to the 50 is where they're going to say the the Knights, take over on this drive. So 2:58, you're at midfield. Exactly what the Knights needed.
Exactly what they needed, and exactly what they've been able to do this whole playoff run. Anytime they've started at midfield or on, they've been able to cash in. So let's see what they do over this 2:58, because if you get to the locker room tied at 7, you're sitting right where you want to be.
2:58, 2 timeouts left, 2 for Hoban. Ball's on that near side hash mark, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Running back is Feaster on that right hip of Boykin. Out of that shotgun, taking the snap, keeping it. Boykin avoids the tackle, the first one, extends the play out, but the throw goes nowhere into the earth, and it's 2nd down and 10.
That actually might be a smart play there, because there wasn't a whole lot of room. He avoided the sack, and when he saw what he had there, he knew if he put that in the receiver's hands, he was going to get absolutely lit up. Put it at the ground by his feet. It's not intentional grounding. Good play there by Juice, because you live to play another down instead of maybe a fumble coming off a play that you didn't really need to make.
No doubt. As 2:52 now left on the clock, and go running back behind Juice, trips to his right, receiver wide out far side to his right as well. This time the handoff goes to Feaster. Feaster runs into the pile and gets nothing. Back to the 50. It's 3rd and 10.
Wow. 3 and 92. So that's Pringle, and that is Chase Bond right in there, and they are giving these guys fits. And it's the initial blocks are being made on the down linemen. It's the guys that are coming in from behind. Their pursuit, their flow to the ball is just excellent. And what they're doing, if Hoban's pulling that guard, the guy that's uncovered now is shooting down the line instead of trying to progress through the backfield.
2:15 and ticking. First half of play, 3rd and 10 for the Hoban Knights. At their 50-yard line at midfield. And the Knights may opt to take a timeout after letting the clock expire, and they will too. Have timeouts to utilize. You definitely want to talk it over too. This is one of those situations, though, because the clock is what it is. You have the defense. You don't always want to spot them good field position, but if you get more than 5 yards in this situation, you might seriously consider going for it on 4th too, where you are, if you are in Massillon territory. Then
I think if they can get 8 yards here, they would honestly consider it. I think anything less, pin them deep, and take the fact that you're down 7 and needing to stop coming out of the half. They got to come up with a play. And this is the one thing that we have seen them do during this playoff run. We've seen a 3rd and 21 converted. We've seen a 3rd and 19 converted. We've seen a 3rd and 15 converted. You look back at these plays that Hoban's been able to make. Right now, this Massillon defense is so technically sound. They've got to come up with the perfect play here. They've got to block it well. They've got to execute to all ends just to try and give them something. Feaster has had no running room since that opening carry he had in the first drive when he scored it through there for 9 yards. I'm going to guess pass play here, just the way they're huddled up.
Boykin under center, trips off to his left. He snap, and he got touched immediately. Tries to hand it off, and they just try to push the pile so quick off that initial snap that time were the Tigers, and only able to muster up, it looks like 2 yards total. Bring up 4th and 8 now.
Yeah, that was a play. I'm not sure what they were down up. They actually handed it off to Dion Rogers there. I think they were just trying to bunch him up into the line and see if they could move it. It only got you 2 yards on the play. So now if you're Massillon, you take that timeout. You're sitting just under 2 minutes with a chance to go up 2 scores.
So this is going to be a point, like you said, where you figure now that Hoban, they're in Massillon territory, but only at that 48, 4th and 8 to go. You try to pin them back deep, and then you rely on that defense. Like we said, too, on the season, 7 pick sixes. And We haven't seen them put it in the air a ton, but DeJuan Owens has already had a pass that was really close out of the 2 attempts he's had, or 3 attempts, excuse me. 3 incompletions. One of them was almost a pickoff.
Yeah. And if you look at this, Ty, this is an interesting thing. They had 4 first downs on their opening drive. They have not had a first down since. So that tells you how well this defense is playing. And Massillon only has 3 first downs when they entered the second quarter. I think they've had 1 first down.
One was gifted on that penalty, too.
So when you look at the way things are going, you know what the way this game is starting to flow and dictate to, you're going to have to start to take advantage. Now, we know he's probably going to come out and punt here. Would you think maybe of a fake punt? You always got to pull something out. It's the last game of the season. You can't leave anything sitting in your bag of tricks.
No doubt. Ryan Burns is out, and we know Coach Terrell. He's a gambler. He's willing to take those chances. Burns does just boot it away, though. Gets a nice boot underneath it. It bounces at the 10, takes another bounce inside the 5. They pinned him back at the 1. And this is dangerous territory for the Tigers. This is a Hoban team this season, Mike, that has forced 5 safeties on the year.
They'll take one right now because, A, it would give them the ball back, but B, that was done perfect. I thought the ball was going to get in the end zone. Now, I have a question for you. Is it dead when he touches it? Because if you watch here on the replay, when he gets this, okay, he's there. He runs into the end zone. Shouldn't the ball be at the 20?
It is a good question. I think it is when he touches it, technically. I think it was whistled dead when he touched it. Right. So
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no continuation from that point. I don't believe so, too. Massillon going to set up with 2 running backs, only a single receiver far side, trying to just go up the middle and avoiding the tackle, but a whistle blown as a false start comes in, and this is going to back him up half the distance inside the half-yard line.
Yeah, they'll go from the half-yard line to the quarter-yard line. The tip of that ball is probably going to be sitting on the goal line.
And does that favor or create a disadvantage for Massillon that they essentially ran a play, kind of showed their hand to the Knights what they're going to be doing or what they're going to try to do to get out of this tight situation?
I got to think it's going to be Owens is going to be coming out of there with that ball one way or another.
And it's going to be a whistle blown and a timeout taken, and this is a tough spot. Knights all of a sudden make it interesting. Minute 45 left to go here in this first half of play, and a safety here would pretty much create a very interesting storyline for this final 2 minutes here in the state championship game.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to find a way. You're clawing for points right now, and you look at this, and it's funny because you look at the scoreboard, it still says 1st and 10. It's actually 1st 10 and a half.
Yeah, a little bit
or
more
a quarter,
too, yeah.
But this is interesting, and I'm shocked that they're going shotgun here because, again, big moments, big games, anything can happen. What if it's a bad snap here? That could be that safety. What if the ball's bobbled and it's loose? The defense could,
you can't have a bad snap. A fumble here would be disastrous too, as well. I mean, you can't have the ball go loose here. But this had to be exactly what the Knights wanted to do, and that's why they opt to go with the punter there in that situation. They love these situations defensively. Massillon backed up inside their own 1-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. But they don't have any room or any margin for error they are.
No margin for error right now.
Taking the snap, trying to just go forward with it. The Knights are pushing them back. They're saying safety, and it is a safety. Knights defense forces some points on the board.
They knew exactly what was coming. I told you they were going to run Owens, and Tanner Mintz, the guy who has scored a touchdown on an interception on the first play, makes a big play. And now all of a sudden momentum kind of swings back to the Knights side of the field. As they come up with that one.
Now you can go 9-7. You can take a lead into halftime now.
You've got a shot. You're going to need a decent kick return here.
Minute 40 left on the clock.
And it's time to see what you got. But you look at the way that play developed as he tried to come out of there. Tanner Mintz met him about a yard deep in the end zone, and then the rest of the guys come in there. Williams cleans it up. Number 11 comes in, and, he gets his tackle on that. Albert Hill. And, these guys make big plays defensively, and now they're sitting over there, okay, let's get the ball. Let's do something here. Let's try and get a lead before we go in halftime.
That was a monstrous play for the Knights and may have rejuvenated this Knights offense here with under 2 to play, minute 40, and they are going to be set to get the ball back. Hoban has no timeouts left, though. Important to note. They're out of timeouts. Massillon still with the 1, so the Knights are going to have to get this ball, and they're going to have to go. But we've seen them in these similar situations this playoffs. They can get these scores on the board pretty quickly.
Yeah, they can. Let's see what they can come up with, how they'll kick it off here. And if you're Hoban, you just want to secure the ball. And, boy, if you can get over that 50-yard line, that would really set a lot of different things up that you can do.
Free kick because of the safety comes from the Massillon 20, so Hoban will get solid field position out of this. And kickoffs, too, have been a little suspect for the Tigers. That one, boot goes into it. That one, not suspect at all. Put plenty into it, and it's going to be covered up just inside of the 50, still on Hoban's side of the field. Looks like at that 48-ish yard line of the Knights.
Great field position. You got a minute 39 left to go on the clock. You're sitting there. You still got no timeouts left, though. That's the thing you got to remember. They have no timeouts. So you work the sidelines, and, you do get a brief stop if you get a first down. Let's see if that offense can come to life here, maybe in a 2-minute style.
Knights need offense, and they need it in a hurry. You take a field goal here, too. Go down by 2 points. Hey, why not? Whatever you can here to get points. Knights show 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In the backfield that time, it's Albert Hill that is in the backfield with Boykin, but an official timeout on the field. And I can only imagine that means one dreaded thing, usually official timeouts at this stage of the season, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got some TV commercials potentially here. No, they actually just set the they reset the ball, and now we're good too. Usually you hear official timeouts, it's TV timeout code. Taking the snap shotgun, they go the opposite way. Nice play on that design play to Albert Hill, and he gets himself a first down to the Massillon 40.
Hey, very nice play there. You move the sticks, you get a quick stoppage in play, and that only took 7 seconds off the clock. And I like the way they did it. They kind of reversed because the flow of that Tigers defense, they were all going one way, so let's go back the other way.
And that was a nice reversal, too. Hill started out going right and then swung it left, and Boykin able to find him. 2 receivers each way in the backfield with Boykin again. That's Feaster, though, this time on his right hip. Fake the handoff. Boykin keeps it. Boykin gets the right edge of that line, searching for the sideline. Tackle goes that way, too. Dangerous, too, on that tackle. Still happened inbounds, but anytime you kind of carry the offensive player into the out-of-bounds marker, especially into the bench, sometimes you get whistled for the unnecessary roughness.
Well, I think he gets the benefit of the doubt because they were going down while he was still in bounds. Had he been clearly over that white, we'd probably seen a flag come out. We've had a pretty clean first half here. I think there's been 1 penalty on each team, so we'll see what we can do. Nice little gain there. Sets up a lot of options here on second down.
Minute 25. Clock stops as they got out of bounds. 2 each way. Shotgun snap. Fake the throw. Trying to roll to the right. Throw is picked off near the 40 and tackled at the 45-yard line of the Knights. Interception from Massillon. They'll take over at a minute 18.
Oh.
Costly mistake. Again, it seems like every time the Knights try to get rolling offensively, something just kind of derails them too. That's the 3rd turnover this time by Hoban.
That one's tough. I mean, you look at the way that one breaks down and you're just like, you can't make that throw. And it's just, you're into a lot of coverage there. And I almost feel like they got 12, 13 guys on the field because they just got players everywhere. And now if you're the Knights defense, you got to come up with another stand.
2 each way. Running back in the backfield with Owens. Still in Tiger territory on their 43. Prior to the snap, check off Coach Moore and staff near sideline. Minute 18 to go. Prior to whistles to be blown, and I believe a timeout being taken by the Tigers. Their final timeout. So both teams going to be left with no timeouts here in the first half of play. Minute 18 to go. We're going to take a real quick break. Be back with the wrap-up of this first half of play here on ysnlive.com.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto. Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Take the snap, try to go over the middle, and that one an incompletion. Tigers out of the timeout, tried to air it out. 4 seconds come off the clock. The incompletion over the middle. It's 2nd down and 10 now for Massillon, Washington.
Well, you set up that play, and, again, if you're Hoban, you just want to get off the field right now down 5. You don't want to give up any more points, knowing that your defense has to come out and make a stand to start the 3rd quarter.
2nd down, 10 to go. Ball at the 43-yard line of the Tigers. Shotgun snap, looking over to the near side, and another incompletion. 3rd down and 10 with 1:10 on the clock.
That one sailed on him, man. He just put a little too much zip on it, and it took off at the very end. But the Knights very good in the coverage so far. He wasn't going to get a lot of room to run, even if he had made that catch, because he had 2 guys just closing in on him real quick. I like the way they're playing defensively. They've just got to come up here with one more stop. Still might have over a minute left when they get the ball back.
Ball still at that 43-yard line, 3rd and 10, 2 receivers each way. Shotgun snap. Keeper that time to 1 Owen just rushes up the middle, tackled at the 45, gain of 2. But Tigers now will just let that clock run, likely punt it at the last possible second, and leave Hoban with under a half minute to go.
Yeah, neither team can stop it here, and if you're Massillon, you don't want to. You've done what you wanted to do in the first half. You've come out, you got a lead, so you're going to head to the break sitting up 5 right now potentially, and I would think this ball is going to be punted out of bounds. You don't really want to give the Knights a chance here to bring one back because Tyson Campbell has that potential.
He does. One punt return touchdown earlier in the season, Campbell has. He's set up at the 15-yard line. The punt is away. It's down the middle of the field, takes a bounce at the 20, and will bounce out of bounds near the 10. Perfectly executed punt, 18 seconds left. You might see one running play, but nothing really else than that from Hoban in this situation, you figure.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Hoban here is I wouldn't be surprised if Juice just takes a knee and says, let's go here. Let's get these guys in the locker room. Let's see what we can do to adjust to get back and play the way we did on that first drive. Because since that first drive, it's been very, very tough going for the Knights. It's also been tough, though, for Massillon. Their offense hasn't had much room to move. They got gifted a first down. They did take advantage and got a touchdown. But if you're the Knights, you just got to wonder, you've got to come up with some ways to get that offensive moving again.
Knights look like they're just coming out to take the knee. Coming out in kneeling formation, receiver each way. 18 seconds left on the clock, and Juice will plant the knee to the ground. And that'll do it from our first half here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 7-2, Massillon, Washington with the lead. Mylan Lennox, the rushing touchdown for the Tigers. Hoban, though, gets the safety on the defensive side at the other end as ball was snapped inside that half-yard line. DeJuan Owens couldn't go anywhere from that end zone. What were some of your takeaways here before we go into our halftime break, Mike? Some of the takeaways from that first half, maybe some adjustments you'd like to see from both teams in the second half.
Well, their offenses have to adjust. They've got to do something because the defenses they're owning this game right now. And, I know some people were hoping that maybe we could get into a shootout here. The defenses just aren't going to let that happen. If you're Hoban, you've got to find a way to start getting yards on first down. They have been setting up since that opening drive. They've been in 2nd and long, I think, all but one series. So they've got to find a way to do that. If you're Massillon, it's vice versa. You want to do the same thing coming out here in the second half. You've got to start to make some maneuvering to get back into control.
Let me put a question your way before we do go into that half. Caleb Jones featured heavily in that first drive. I don't believe we heard any kind of injury report from him. We saw it, though, against Avon, where that first half wasn't utilized, but then the second half, all of a sudden, he came storming through the gates, got a big touchdown, got a big INT. Do you feel like they're saving Jones again for the second half? What do you think the case is with him? Because he had a great first drive, but then all of a sudden kind of just taken out of the game from that point.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're going to do. We saw a lot of Feaster. We saw Xavier Williams, Juice try to do stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of plays to go there, and I would think when you come out in the second half, it's going to be a heavy dose of Caleb Jones. And like I say, he is the one guy that truly goes both ways. So, trying to maybe give him a little bit of rest because he was out there playing defensively, so I know he's not hurt. I would expect to see him get the ball. I would also want to see maybe a few more plays from Feaster, but he has had no room to run.
One thing that's also kind of missing in this first half, the Knights have gotten their turnovers on downs, but you see the Massillon side, fumble recovery, interception, got a big blocked punt too, and a turnover that led to a score. Hoban's missing that turnover, that kind of key turnover that we've seen almost in every game from the Knights this season right now.
Well, eventually I'm going to have to call it out. Last 2 times I've been able to call it out, so maybe I'll have to say, hey, it's turnover time. But they need a splash play. They need something that, boy, can just set them up, maybe even a pick 6. And I remember, our first game that we did up against Paynesville, it was the 3rd play of the game, and they were going to the house with a touchdown, and that just springboarded them in that one. And then last week against Avon, that pick in the 3rd quarter by Albert Hill, that changed the tide, and that was all they needed.
Thousands are in attendance to watch the conclusion of this one. We got one half in the books, 7-2. Massillon, Washington leads the Archbishop Hoban Knights in the most anticipated high school football matchup in the state of Ohio this year. Ty Bartell, Mike Ackelson, YSNLive.com. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with the start of the 3rd quarter as we thank all of our wonderful sponsors.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
The feeling when my hands are on the piano, it's become comforting. It's somewhere that I can express myself. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is playing music. YSU is allowing me to take what I love and turn it into a career and do it every single day of my life. I'm Alyssa, and I'm YN proud.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats, because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn. Hi, this is Steve Versetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience, WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are two of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor. Come play like a pro on these award-winning Donald Ross-designed courses. Enjoy a round with your kids and unwind with your favorite food and drinks in the grill room. For championship golf, look no further than your backyard. Mill Creek Golf Course.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online.
Wednesday afternoon weather update. Very dangerous.
And on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
House troubles can attack anytime. When trouble strikes, call Mighty Mike. Your hometown hero is on his way. HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Mighty Mike Heating and Cooling will save the day. Commercial or residential, 24/7. For quality service you can depend on. Call your hometown hero. Call Mighty Mike.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley,
Local people making decisions that affect your life right here where you live.
Shopping for a vehicle online should be easy and worry-free. Introducing Merge from Greenwood Chevrolet, a completely new way to buy a car that combines the convenience of shopping online with the personal touch and expertise that Greenwood is known for. With Merge, shopping is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Choose a vehicle from our pre-owned inventory, build a deal that fits your needs, and finalize the deal with our online buying team. That's car buying in a new lane. Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and let us go the extra mile for you.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN, we love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name's Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
Coca's Pizza, your high school football headquarters. Come to pregame with half-off select appetizers in our dining room starting at 5 p.m. Also want to stay for the game? We'll be playing it live. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are just moments away from the start of the third quarter, second half of play here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium between the Archbishop Hoban Knights and the Massillon Washington Tigers. Ty Bartell, Mike Ackelson with YSNLive.com with the call of all the action here in this contest. 7-2, Mike. Massillon with the lead after a half. They're going to get the ball to start this third quarter. This drive, very important. They can go up by as much as a dozen here if everything goes the Tigers' way.
Well, and if it does go the Tigers' way, that's not what Hoban wants to see, because if you look back at the first half stats, Hoban was held to 5 first downs. Their only 2 points come off that safety. The first drive, they had 4 first downs. So you only got 1 first down the rest of the first half. And you look at it, they 82 yards on 26 plays for Hoban in that first half. So they've got to find a way to do something offensively. They need their defense, once again, to step up and flex its muscles. In some way, somehow, they've got to come up with a turnover, I believe.
The scoring came 6 minutes left in that second quarter. Mylan Lennox, a 6-yard rushing touchdown, and that came after the face mask penalty on 4th down, and it gave the Massillon Washington Tigers a first down. They converted that into points. Then with 1:40 left to go in that second quarter, Tanner Mintz was able to record a safety on DeJuan Owens and get the Knights on the board. Those 2 points by the Knights, we've seen plenty of football games. Those could prove to be very important once the end of the game comes around.
They could, because if they get the only score, say they get a touchdown in this half and their defense does what it has done the rest of the way in the playoffs, that safety could be the turning point of the game. And you don't think of it at that time, but boy, it could loom large later down into the fourth quarter.
One of the biggest things, too, we saw was that rushing attack of the Knights was seemingly cut off after that first drive, and it was subsequently when they took Caleb Jones out of the backfield. We saw similar gamesmanship kind of from the Knights against Avon, where we saw Jones for a couple of carries in that first half, but he really started to get a brunt and a bulk of his load in that second half. We got to expect to see probably much of the same with this last game of the season on the line here.
Well, I'm going to think, he had 5 rushes, like you said, on the first one. And if you look back at their rushing attempts the rest of the way in the first half, they only have 8 more. So it shows you they're not getting many opportunities. So they're going to have to start taking advantage of every offensive snap they've got to turn into positive yardage, because then the plays that are going for 0 or less, second and long, are just setting it up into situations And from a passing standpoint, they only passed for 19 yards. So you look at that and think, Juice doesn't have a lot of time, because what's coming is these guys are blitzing from all angles. They don't send the same guy every play. But the thing that has really impressed me about Massillon's defense is that linebacker core. When they're able to roam free, which they did after that first drive, they make plays. They fill holes. They shoot gaps. They come in. They are an in-your-face type defensive play. And, boy, those two linebackers, everything that I read about them, everything that I saw, everything that I watched this past week, it's true.
And they're doing it with a very limited and pretty much non-existent Dorian Pringle today, except in extreme situations. He's one of the top tacklers on the team, too. So it's just a credit to how deep that Massillon Tiger defense really is.
And that might be something to watch here in the second half. How much are they going to limit it to him, or did they limit him enough in the first half that they're going to cut him loose here in the second half? Because when he's on the field, he's a difference maker. And that seemed to be when the plays were happening in the first half, was if Pringle wasn't out there, they were able to run. And that was the thing, like that first series, he did the opening play. He come off for the rest of that first series. That's when the Knights did their damage.
A fumble from the Knights that was lost in the first half, a blocked punt that was recovered and eventually turned into a score from the Knights in that first half, and an interception from the Knights offense in that first half. 3 really big turnovers to the Massillon Washington Tigers, but still only a 5-point lead for the Tigers. You've got to feel like Coach Terrell has to be happy with the fact that they've given the ball up a lot, but they're still within only a score right now.
Yeah, you fumbled once, interception, block punt. Those 3 things in most games would result in 21 points being on the board the other way. Out of that, they only gave up 7, and if there's not a penalty, they probably maybe only give up 3. This probably should be a 3-2 game right now at best. And the way I'm looking at it right now, I think Massillon has thrown a very good punch at Hoban, and they didn't knock him out. They're letting Hoban hang around. And, everybody come into this, Hoban was the underdog. Hoban was the one, everybody was kind of, and I'm wondering, we've watched what they've done. Those adjustments that they make at halftime have made a difference. I'm interested to see how they do this time, because Massillon's also going to make some adjustments. We know that. But did they give them their best punch and they only got 7 points?
That's a great question to hear, too. And, I mean, this is go time, right? We're talking 24 minutes, state title on the line. Everything you got, full season came down to this. Massillon, Washington, 24 state championships before 1970, not one in the playoff era. They are looking for their first. Meanwhile, the Archbishop Hoban Knights, 5 state championships in the playoff era since 2015, 5 all time under Coach Terrell. And it's a Knights team, too, that continuously has gotten stronger with each playoff game this year, especially in the second half. This drive, though, with Massillon, Washington getting the opening kickoff, opportunity to take a 2-possession lead, momentum hangs in the balance with this drive.
It absolutely does. And if you're Hoban, you want to get in, you want to turn this to a 3-and-out situation and maybe get decent field position. And you're okay if you give up a couple first downs. You just don't want to give up any points on the scoreboard. And it's just going to be fun to watch to see how this unwinds here, because the Knights remember the feeling last year when they thought they should have won this state championship game. And I'm sure that was touched upon at halftime.
And even if you give up a field goal this first drive, that would also be a key. Keep this an 8-point game. Ball at the 40. Burns ready to boot it away. He puts a foot into it. It's hauled in inside that 5-yard line. Massillon makes a cut up past the 20. Tackled shy of the 25. In between the 20 and 25 is where the Tigers will take over on offense in this first drive of the second half.
All right, good coverage there. Looked like he could have got out maybe a little bit further, but boy, the closing speed on the specialty teams there of the Knights sets that ball up, and I guess they marked it back at the 22. I thought he got the 25 also, Ty. So, but if you're the Knights defense, it's go time right now.
11:54 to start. Empty backfield. DeJuan Owens all by himself. 2 receivers each way. Tight end as well. Owens tries to just take it up the middle, and the Knights just not allowing a seam to be created. They keep them right around that line of scrimmage, and it might actually be a loss of 1 or 2, it looks like.
Yeah, good play there as they come in. They just nail that play, and this is exactly what their defense likes to do. They want to put you in second and long. They want to get you down to where you're not able to make plays. And, as they come in and they make that one, that was Cartier Williams in on the stop.
Jameer Gamble in that backfield. Handoff goes on that jet sweep, able to get the opening. Oh, a tackle on the ball is loose and trying to recover it. Knights and Tigers, who ends up with it? No signal on the football yet, out on the far sideline. I think it went out off of the Tigers last, out of bounds. So it's technically going to push them forward a little bit, but it's still third down. Boy, oh boy.
Oh my, what a hit on that play. Tyson Campbell come up and just absolutely laid the wood.
As Jaquez Carter got hit with that one, lost the ball as well. Almost disastrous for the Tigers. But they have a chance now, 3rd and 4 to convert. They bunch it up, single receiver, near side to the right, 2 backs behind Owens. Handoff, whistles blown prior to, and they're going to say encroachment, I believe, on the Knights, and it is, and it's going to give the Tigers a free first down again on the penalty.
And that's a tough play. You don't want to give that one up when you're sitting there, and those are plays that you just can't let happen. You line up off sides. Like, you can't do that. And, you extend the drive and give them fresh life with 3 new downs.
So push the Tigers forward to the 33-yard line, 11-13 left to go in this third quarter. Fresh set of downs for Massillon. They're going to show 2 receivers each way. Running back on the right hip now shifts to the left of Owens. DeJuan Owens sitting out of that shotgun, taking the snap, handing it off, going up the middle. No yards allowed. Actually looks like a loss of about a half for the Tigers as that running room scarce up the middle for Massillon.
Yeah, that is Devin Bell in on that hit again as he just flashed right in there, made a great pop. The running is tough right now if you're trying to go inside. You are not getting any room at all. And Caleb Jones and Mintz were also in on that tackle. Whew, they're getting a lot of hats to the ball.
2nd and 11, same look, 2 each way. Running back left hip, snap in the shotgun pass. Nice pass, threading the needle through 2 defenders to pick up about 4 on the completion.
Jaquez Carter comes up with that catch. But again, the defense is great because there was not a lot of running room after he makes the catch.
Half the yardage needed. It's now a 3rd down and about 5 to 6 for the Tigers now, in another situation where they're set up in a 3rd down, able to convert with that offsides penalty by the Knights as they're going to set up empty backfield. 2 receivers and extra tight end each way. 1 into motion, going right to left. Keeper by Owens. Owens tries to find a hole, gets one that time to the 45, and he'll fall forward to get the first down for the Tigers.
Good play there as they overloaded that side. They were able to get more hats onto the Knights, and what they were able to defense it is they had to come back across the field to chase it. And Owens is tough to bring down once he gets past that interior line, and he just hustled there and moves the sticks again, keeps that clock moving in favor of the Tigers.
Tigers at their own 47, 2 each way. Once again, shifting that running back left hip to right now, or right hip to left for Owens. Owens hands it off, goes off to the left, rolling that way. Missed on the first tackle, second tackle, and the wave of reinforcements in to stop Owens for a minimal gain of about a yard, as did a lot of running for not a whole lot of room forward.
Braden Grant and Tyson Campbell absolutely played their keys right. They were able to string it out, and give Campbell credit there because he had a wide receiver blocking him, and he fought through that block to at least get his arms around the legs of Owens. And you bring that down for a 1-yard gain, that had the potential to be a big play for the Tigers.
Clock is at 8:45 and ticking. Tigers, 2nd down and 9, 2 each way. Again, running back on that hip, out of the shotgun, snap, handoff, goes up the middle, and again, no running room. They push him back that 1 yard that they gained. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, right in there is Eli Lee as he just bottled that one up. And it's kind of funny, like, not funny, but it's like you watch both these defenses, Ty, the middle linebackers are just filling the gaps and saying, come on at us. We'll take the contact. And, boy, these guys are up to the task.
It's 3rd and 10, longest third down for the Tigers in this drive, and a big one coming up. They've been able to convert 2 to this point, 1 with a penalty, 1 with a play. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, empty backfield for Owens out of the shotgun, 1 into motion left to right, taking the snap out of the shotgun, airing it out off to the right side of the field, over the middle. It's broken up. 2 Tigers and 3 Knights in that area, and I think the intended target was Braylon Tolles, the favorite of Owens, but not to be. It's 4th and 10.
Albert Hill almost came down with the pick, but when he didn't get it, Tolles almost got the reception on the deflection. It just bounced off his shoulder pad. Looked like he had his hands around it, but just the way Hill's deflection was enough of a difference that he couldn't make the play.
Massillon going to play it safe, up by 5, electing to punt. Always got to watch for the fakes here. They have 3 receivers off to that right. The punt comes in from that Massillon 35-yard line in the air, calling for the fair catch inside the 15, and that's where the Knights will take over for their first offensive drive of the second half. So again, the Knights offense bent a little bit, allowed a couple first downs, but like you said at the beginning of this quarter, that's okay as long as no points go on the scoreboard. Well, check mark on that end. Now you need some points on the offensive end.
Now you need a long offensive drive. You want to start to build the momentum and put it. That was a minor win, okay? So you took that skirmish and you can stick it in your back pocket. But now what do you do with it on this one? The offense has to find a way to get the ball moving, and let's see what they're going to do. And they're coming out. Williams is in the backfield, so still no Caleb Jones.
On that 14-yard line, Xavier Williams gets it on that handoff, running to the right. Williams, X just keeps the legs churning, and he gets past the 20. Nice carry on first down. You're going to need a lot more of them.
They are, and if you can string a few of those together, that'll start to open up some things for you, because what that did, Williams' speed as he hit that crease, well blocked, and I like the way he just found a way to keep going. After contact, he picked up 3 extra yards, and that looms big because now you're sitting in a 2nd and 4 situation.
2nd and 4, twins to the left, single receiver right of Boykin. And again, Williams behind him as the tailback. Fake the handoff there. Pass goes into the hands. No, it's just on the ground. Almost an interception right into the hands of Dalen Pringle. But it ends up on the floor first, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been disastrous. And that was just the wide receiver and the quarterback were not on the same page on that play. And one guy went one way, and the quarterback thought he was going the other way. And you just cannot do that. And the one thing you don't want to do is turn this ball right back over to the Massillon offense when you've had the ball for less than 40 seconds.
3rd down and 4 from the Hoban 20. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Single back on that left hip of Boykin. And prior to a timeout being called, and it is from the Knights, utilizing their first and the second half. So this, obviously, by the timeout call, looming as a large play in the minds of Coach Terrell and the Hoban staff.
Well, the big thing was I think they had taken up so much time, they weren't going to get the playoffs. So the last thing he wanted to do was add 5 more yards to it. But again, that timeout could loom large too, because you might need that later in the second half. And, you know, when you look at things, as long as they get the first down off it, it was a great timeout. If they do not get the first down off of this play, you probably would have been better off to take the 5 and, you know, get what you can on 3rd and then punt it anyhow.
The Knights, they're trying to open up that passing game when they find success in the running game, but maybe going to the passing game a little early every time they've tried to go to it, because it seems like the Tigers are still ready for it. It seems like they're still pinning their ears back, just waiting for those big passes and not allowing anything big over the top to happen on them.
Yeah, it's almost like Massillon is daring them to pass. They want them to pass. And, you know, the Knights' MO is they like to run the ball. I mean, your season statistics will tell you that. And you just got to be calm, deep breaths, just take a good approach to this. And I do like that they are trying to run some slants. They just haven't been on right now. And maybe it's just a matter of time. And, you know, they just need that one play to get that confidence really rocking again.
long huddle, of course, with the TV timeouts being utilized here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 7:01 left to go in this third quarter. It's a 3rd down and 4 for Archbishop Hoban. They're at their own 20-yard line. They need to get to their 24 for a first, as they turned away the Massillon Washington Tigers on their first possession of this game, of this quarter. They opened up with possession here in the third, got a couple of first downs, but were forced to punt after those 2 first downs. So Knights defense did its job, but Massillon's defense continuing to do its job still hasn't allowed any offensive points here in this one.
Yeah, and they're going to have to come up with a good play here. And this is the weird thing. Like, if we're at home, yeah, you run to the fridge, you get some bag of chips and something to drink. And when you're here, you're just like, okay, let's play. Yeah. Let's play, But I can't complain so far. This game has lived up to the billing. I mean, we knew it was going to be a slugfest, and it has been in the trenches. And so far, I think the defenses are winning it.
And this is a big play coming up here. 3rd down and 4 for the Knights. Both teams break the huddle. Twin receivers to the left of Boykin. He also has another receiver on that left side near the line of scrimmage. So 3 receivers total to that left, empty to the right. He's also by himself. Boykin is out of that shotgun in the backfield. One in a motion, that's Albert Hill. Albert Hill gets it on the jet sweep. Hill just bobbing and weaving all the way to that first down marker. And they're going to say, I believe they said, move the chains. They did. First down for the Knights.
Real nice play there. They bring Hill in motion, and he's already got the speed when they snap it. And Pringle, he'll make the tackle, but it's beyond the first down marker. And that's exactly what the Knights needed. Okay, a little momentum. Now let's build on it on this set of downs.
6:40 and ticking. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield with Boykin on his left hip. Looks like Williams. Xavier Williams gets the carry. Williams pushing the blockers in front of him, and he'll get himself all the way to the 25.5-yard line for about 1.5 yards on the carry.
Just some tough sledding in there as they're trying to go through everything, and really well blocked and everything down. Looks like there is a Tiger down on the field.
Injury down on the field, and it is number 45.
That's their fullback.
Yeah, it is, and that's Michael
Wright.
And he brings in all kinds of power. He's also a really good defensive player as well out of the linebacking crew. So an injury on the field will cause a timeout real quickly here on the network. Ty Bartell, Mike Ackelson, ysnlive.com. We'll be back in a minute.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local, independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
The feeling when my hands are on the piano, it's become comforting. It's somewhere that I can express myself. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is playing music. YSU is allowing me to take what I love and turn it into a career and do it every single day of my life. I'm Alyssa, and I'm YN proud.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99.
We're back here as, sorry folks, we had a play actually happen during the break too. A first down run by the Knights. It was for 10 yards by Xavier Williams, and they got it to the 34.5 yard line. And that's where the Knights have taken over with a first down and 10 to go.
Well, they've just used their second timeout now here of the second half. And that looms large because now Hoban's down to one timeout, down 5 points, 5:59 to go on the clock. But you've had some success. You've moved the sticks twice here, and you want to keep things moving. So I think Coach Terrell is feeling like the game is in the balance right now, and he needs to take advantage of it.
It has to, and that's what I feel like with this drive, the way they're kind of treating it. Not that it's score or bust, but we're a tick under 6 minutes now, 5:59 left in this third. And the way both these teams, it's been about 4 to 5 minutes when they've been able to get at least a first down for a drive. You're not looking at much time left. And you feel like if you give it back to Massillon again and they score, there might not be enough time left for Hoban to really put anything together.
Well, and that's the thing. How much time do you eat here? What's it do? The momentum, because just you feel that at some point you've got to score because you might not get another opportunity.
Single receiver each way for the Knights. Two tight ends blocking for them as well. Single back in that backfield. It's Williams. Xavier Williams pushes. The pile goes up the middle, and a fumble. Was it lost or was it recovered? I think
the Knights recovered.
Knights got it back at the 40, so a favorable fumble. It went forward.
Dion Rogers falls on that ball. It just happened to go right to where he was.
Game flashed before their eyes right there.
Yeah, just a fortuitous bounce, and he happened to be the one guy that was able to pounce on it. It actually got him a couple extra yards.
It did. They got up to the 40. It's now a second down and a little less than 5. The first down marker just placed inside of that 45-yard line. Ball on that 45 line. One receiver each way. One moving into motion, extra tight end now on the right. From that backfield, Caleb Jones gets the carry. Caleb Jones hits some Tigers and says, I'll carry you with me over the first down marker. And there's the Caleb Jones reappearance here in the third.
Yeah, right now, if I'm Akron Hoban, I want a heavy dose of Caleb Jones because when he runs the ball like that, he just punishes tacklers. I don't know who hits harder, him or the guy trying to get him.
You start thinking about it too once you tackle him a couple of times. The next time you start thinking, hey, do I really want to try to bring this guy down?
Mm-hmm.
3 receivers left, none to the right for Boykin. Out of that shotgun, empty in the backfield with him as well. Little miss bobble on the snap, but a QB draw. Boykin stays on his feet. First down and more, all the way down the sideline and pushed out of bounds inside the 30. Big play for the Knights, and it's first down, Hoban.
What a great job as he tight-roped that sidelines for about an extra 12 yards. You could see him. He was literally off balance, but trying to keep his feet in bounds. That has been their first big splash play of this game, and it comes from Juice, who squeezed as much yardage out of that as he could.
He really needed every little ounce he could get out of that run. And at 4:35, though, looks like they're going to back him up to the 40, rather. So actually must have stepped out a little bit prior too, as he might have stepped out and came kind of back in. He was treading that line, but good watchful eye on the officials too, making the correct call. They were right there. Extra crew on hand today as well for the officiating crew. 2 left, 1 right, receiver set. Jones in the backfield with Boykin on his left hip. Handoff, but a flag is thrown, and it looks like a false start. And it will go against the Knights and Coach Terrell and company. A little upset with it.
Yeah, he is. He's very upset. And the thing I've noticed here in this half tie, when the linemen are going to the line, there's a couple guys each play. They're switching. Some play they might be at left tackle. One play they might be at right guard. Like he's moving his linemen around, which normally you don't see that in a game. But they have been switching on every play so far.
1st and 15 now at that Massillon 45-yard line. 2 left, 1 right. Receiver-wise, running back Jones on the left hip of Boykin out of that shotgun. But prior to, a flag comes in once again, and I think it's against the Knights. And that'll back them up 5 yards again.
All right, self-destruction. These are the things that have hurt them during the playoffs, and now all of a sudden, instead of setting up shop at the Tigers' 40-yard line, now you're back at midfield, and you're faced with a 1st and 20.
4:35 too, left in the. I mean, time's not on your side when you're down either. So I mean, you're losing time each time you're backed up, and now the task becomes a little taller. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Again, Jones on that left hip. Snap, handoff. Jones has it, goes to the right, finds a hole. Jones gets 10 plus, call it 15 on that carry, and they get it all the way within 3 of the marker. It's 2nd and 3.
That's exactly what they've needed. It's a heavy case of Caleb Jones. And boy, you just love the way he hits the hole. They actually pulled 2 linemen on that play, and give credit to number 50. That is William Satterwhite. He blocked 2 Tiger defenders on that play, and that's what gave the hole for Jones to do what he could do.
Opened up playbook as well. 2nd and 4, 2 left, 1 right. Handoff back to Jones. He attacks left this time, and he falls shy of the first, but he got about, it looks like, a yard on the carry.
All right, so it sets you up in 3rd and short, and
you got to fail 2 tries.
They're in 2 down territory at this point. You're down 5. This has been your best offensive drive since the opening one of the game. You've got to make something happen. And they're subbing in and out every play. And I like what they're doing. They're really giving Massillon a lot of different looks on this series.
Trying to get him off balance. 3rd down and 3. Trips to the left, single receiver right as the Knights taking the snap. Boykin tries to get to the edge. He's not going to get it. Tackled at the 35-yard line. And 4th down coming up for Hoban.
Yeah, big play there by Ryan Page. He just was able to string it out. He got a hold of the shoulder pads and would not let go. And now this becomes the biggest play of the game for the Hoban Knights.
They're at the 35-yard line. They need 5. They need that Massillon 30 to keep the drive alive. They've converted a couple of 3rd downs to this point, but 5 yards needed. They're going to spread things out. 3 receivers to the left, none to the right. Empty backfield with Boykin, the only one out of the shotgun. 1 in a motion, it's Elbert Hill. Flag comes in, whistle's blown, and I think a false start going to come against the Knights. And it will. Back them up 5. It's a 4th and 10 now.
I think now you're going to punt. You're going to try and pin them deep here and hope that defense can make that splash play, get that turnover that they desperately need.
As just continuously shooting themselves in the foot, but still have been able to stay within 5. But this becomes a huge drive, almost a game-clinching drive now for the Tigers. Burns puts a boot into it at midfield. High kick. It finally bounces at the 15, and the Knights going to elect to touch it near the 10. But again, just why touch it in that situation? You could back up a little bit and get some more yards on them. That's the 2nd time the Knights special teams unit has touched a ball prematurely before they should have.
Had the one on the kickoff right down here in front of us where let it go out of bounds. You start at the 40 instead of the 23. And now you could probably, I think with that bounce, that ball would have been inside the 5.
2:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Massillon, Washington to get the ball back at their own 10-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers. DeJuan Owens and company back to the field. Owens sets up out of the shotgun. Empty backfield. 3 receivers, or 2 right, 1 left. A couple extra tight ends. Owens with the draw. Tries to go up the middle, and you got to start wondering if the Tigers going to have to change that strategy up. Up the middle running just doesn't happen against this Knights team.
No, there was absolutely nowhere to go. And it's almost like you're just running over a mass pile of bodies, and it's not going to work. And that front 3, 4, whichever way Hoban decides to go on each different play, they are just sealing the deal inside there. And it just lets their linebackers come in and get a free shot at you.
2nd down and 10 again, 2 each way. Empty backfield once again for the Tigers with Owens alone. 1 in a motion left to right, handoff on the jet sweep, trying to find an opening, and it's going to be tackled just in front of that 10-yard line, so not much running room there, maybe about 2 on the carry.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing going again, and you like the way Hoban's defense has played this. They just string it out, and once you try to turn the field up the field, you just get absolutely popped. And, you watch it in there, and, here it comes. It just gets
tackle.
Drilled.
Absolutely smacked was Gamble on that tackle. We're under a minute to play, 55 seconds and ticking. Likely the last play of this 3rd quarter. Owens again by himself out of that shotgun, 2 each way. Snap, back to the 5. Breaks out of the pocket, airs it out, throw downfield, almost an interception into the hands of Albert Hill, but he knocks it down once again. 3rd bat down of the game for Hill, and it's 4th down.
Great play by Braylon Tolles, because if he doesn't come back and get a little
He played
push,
cornerback, essentially.
Yeah,
he turned into one.
He became their best defender on that play, because that should have been picked off, and that was exactly what he needed to do. And now they're going to be punting the ball from their own end zone. This should set up shop very nicely for Hoban.
Hoban ready to receive the kickoff. Punt comes from inside that 5. Taken and hit. Ball is loose, but recovered by Falkenstein as Campbell caught it, got hit immediately, lost the ball, went back to the 50, but Parker Falkenstein was able to fall on it and keep the ball in possession of Hoban at midfield, as Campbell a little slow to get up, but he is walking off the field, gingerly tending to that right arm and shoulder, it looks like.
Yeah, he got absolutely drilled when it came out of him. They're lucky. That is twice now they've put the ball on the ground, and fortunately for the Knights, they've had a player there to pounce on it.
30 seconds left to go in the third. Hoban football there, officially now at their 49-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Knights still looking for their first offensive touchdown, but that 3 and out by the Tigers could loom large, because now you put that defense right back out on that field. Caleb Jones, the running back, gets the handoff, goes up the middle, gets some solid yards. Looks like 3, in the neighborhood of 3 to maybe 4. But, I mean, those, you only have a quarter left to run as we're under 20 seconds. This will likely take us to the 4th. But you talked about that healthy dose of Caleb Jones. You almost want the Tigers to try to tackle him. So even runs up the middle, if they're going for 2, 3 yards too, you'll take those if you can mix them in at the correct times in your drives.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, as it strikes 0 here, we've got 12 minutes left
to decide a state champion.
Yeah, and it's a 5-point game. You've got the ball just on their side of the field. This is going to be a fantastic finish.
Hoban football on the Massillon-Washington 49-yard line. It is 2nd down and 8. Attendance in attendance tonight, 14,846 our official attendance tonight. So just a few hairs shy of 15,000 people witnessing this Division II state championship game. Let's take a real quick break, and we'll be back with the start of the 4th quarter after this.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN. We love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name's Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
Shopping for a vehicle online should be easy and worry-free. Introducing Merge from Greenwood Chevrolet, a completely new way to buy a car that combines the convenience of shopping online with the personal touch and expertise that Greenwood is known for. With Merge, shopping is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Choose a vehicle from our pre-owned inventory, build a deal that fits your needs, and finalize the deal with our online buying team. That's car buying in a new lane. Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and let us go the extra mile for you.
We are back here seconds away from the start of the 4th quarter in this Division II state championship game at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium between the Archbishop Hoban Knights and the Massillon-Washington Tigers. Ty Bartell, Mike Ackelson with YSNLive.com on the call for this game, and it's as advertised, Mike. Through 3 quarters, defense has taken center stage. They've sang their hearts out all night, and 12 minutes left to decide a state champion. Hoban with the ball on the right side of the field at the Massillon 49, 2nd and 8. I mean, the story kind of writes itself now from this point on now.
It absolutely does. And what we're saying right now is if you're Hoban, this is it. You better take advantage, because this might be your last opportunity, and you got to eliminate the costly errors. You can't have a false start. You can't have a play clock wind down. You can't take a delay of game. You've only got 1 timeout left, and you need to probably save that just in case. But you've got to score on this drive. I honestly think that if they can punch it in and the way that defense is playing, that might be the difference.
It very well could be the difference here in this one, as both teams have broken the huddle. And we are ready. Switching sides and ready to start this final quarter of play with the 2023 state championship on the line. Knights football are going to come out. Single receiver wide, far side of the field to the left of Boykin. He's got Jones in the backfield with him at the tailback. Trips also slightly to the left for Boykin. Snap, handoff. Jones has the carry. Tries to split the defense, carries them to that 45-yard line, and gets them set up with a 3rd down and about 4.
Nice play there. They just straight ahead running, good blocking. Fullback leads the charge in there, and Jones just tucked in right in behind them. And, right now, this is your biggest 3rd down of the season.
Knights at the Washington 45. They're looking for just inside the 40 for a first. Empty backfield for Boykin. 3 receivers to the right, none to that left. Sending one into motion, extra blocker to that weak side left of Boykin. Boykin takes the snap, rolls to the left. Oh, look at him like a speeding bullet down the sideline and tackled at the 25. What jets in juice. But a flag comes in, and it might be a hold. Oh, and that might be a killer for the Knights here. And it is a offensive holding call, and the Tiger faithful go absolutely insane for it.
Just what I just talked about, Ty. I said those were things you had to eliminate coming into this 4th quarter. And you take that one, man. That one is an absolute killer. You go from 3rd and short. Now you're looking at 3rd and 14. And instead of moving the sticks, now you've got to come up with a play against the stingy defense that hasn't really been giving you a whole lot the whole game.
And you don't want these 3rd and long situations at all, too. So uncharacteristic Hoban Knights team today with a lot of costly penalties. Empty backfield, 4 receivers, 1 tight end. Albert Hill into motion left to right. He gets it on the jet sweep. Hill able to get himself past the 45 and actually picked up a good chunk of yards and forced a 4th and looks like about 3 now, but able to get about 11 on that play.
Now I'm going to wonder, do you roll the dice here because you're sitting just under 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter? You've had some plays work. I think you're going to have to go for it here. You got to take the advantage of this opportunity.
10:40 and ticking. And the Massillon faithful are rising to their feet for this one. Empty backfield. 4 receivers, 1 tight end. Snap from the shotgun. Boykin taking it himself, looking up the middle. Flag came in, and a false start was called on the Knights. Another false start penalty. And it was a dead ball penalty, so the Knights back up and maybe rethink their strategy now.
Yeah, now they're going to have to punt and pin them deep.
But now it comes down to you need a stop, and you're going to need it quick if you want to see this ball again in the 4th. But Massillon at this point, not a quick score, but a long, drawn-out drive, and if it ends with them in the house, you might be talking about the Tigers' first playoff state championship.
Yeah.
Punt is away. It takes a bounce, and trying to save it. Was he in the air? They say no, into the end zone and bring it out. As trying to save it that time, going to the sideline, that was Xavier Williams. Williams looked like he was in the air and threw it from the end zone to the ground, but no call to be had, and the
that was
Tigers going to get it brought out.
That was close, but 10:03 left. Now, if you're Hoban's defense, you have to get a 3 and out here. You absolutely have to. Maybe tack on some negative yardage here, or it's time to make that splash play. You have to come up with a turnover to do something.
Tigers show 4 receivers. Single back out of that shotgun with Owens on his left hip. Owens trying to drive the Tigers to a 2-possession lead. Takes the snap, tries to go through the hole, finds one, and gets past the 30 for a first down for Massillon. They'll set him up right at that 33, it looks like, of the Knights. Or of the Tigers, excuse me.
That is one of the best plays that they've had in this entire second half, and they haven't had the ball much. It feels like Hoban's had the ball most of the time, but Owens, he can do it with his arm, he can do it with his legs, and that time he got him with his legs.
3 right, 1 left receivers. Left hip of the Tigers QB Owens is Mylan Lennox. He scored the touchdown earlier. Snap, rolling left. Owens tries to get through that hole created, but the Knights seal it up quickly and minimize the gain to just a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
Yeah, Cartier Williams in there on the stop that time. That hole wasn't there, and well played again by the defense. But the thing that just, as this drive continues, tick, 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 the clock is now starting to turn in Massillon's favor and is becoming Hoban's enemy too.
At the same time, subsequently, too, right? 2 left, 1 right, 2 extra tight ends for the Tigers. Lennox in motion left to right. Owens, the keeper, up the middle. Tigers just churning their way forward, carrying some Hoban bodies to that 40 as 3rd down and 2 brought up. 3rd down and maybe 1, actually, where they spot him at that 40.5-yard line.
Yeah, this comes up. This is now the play of the game for the Hoban defense. They've got to somehow make it, come up with a play to come up with that stop. Because if they can do that, that'll open up some things. You know, at least you get the ball back offensively.
And that's all that the Hoban Knights are asking for now. Get that ball back one more time. 2 backs in the backfield with Owens. Single receiver wide to the right, far side of the field. Snap, handoff. Lennox waits for a hole to be created, and none is as he's pushed back to the 40. 4th down and 2 now for the Tigers.
Yeah, he actually loses a yard in that play, and he was very hesitant when he ran there. It almost looked like he was being too patient. The hole was there. You just didn't hit it. And the Knights defense come in there and sealed that up real quick, because if he'd went in there hard, I think he would have had a chance to get it. But that's exactly what Akron needed. They only gave up 1 first down, but
now opting to punt. No, a fake. And the Knights get the tackle behind the chains. I don't think he got it.
He's at least a yard short on it.
As the 4th down, the Tigers got risky, opted to go for it, and they might have just got burnt. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
I'm not sure what they're thinking, because you haven't let Akron drive the entire field on you the whole game. Pin them deep, and you pull out a fake punt there. I get you're trying to win the game, but you may have outsmarted yourself on that play.
You haven't allowed an offensive point all game. Why take that chance on the offensive side? Why not punt it away? I mean, I get you want to keep the ball in your hands. You want to end the game with the ball in your hands. I know it's scary giving the ball back to the Knights with like 7 minutes left. They can take all the time, win the game. But like you said, Mike, I think you're just outthinking yourself in that situation, because now Hoban can do that same thing, but they don't have a lot of pressure on them. They still got pressure, but they're on the right side of the 50 now. Set up at the 42-yard line of the Tigers. 1st down and 10 for Hoban. And going to need to call a timeout, Massillon is. And good timeout here, right? Because, I mean, it's the first one taken. But
no, Hoban used it.
Or Hoban utilized the timeout, excuse me. Last one taken for the Knights. It's a good timeout either way, no matter which team using it. I thought Massillon used it just to try to calm things down after that, but still, Knights only had the 1 left. You feel like this is kind of the rah-rah speech from Coach Terrell saying, it's now or never, we need points on the board.
This is it. And let's be honest, this is it. You're set up in prime position. You made a great play, and give the special teams credit there, because what they did on that play was they just didn't think punt and do the usual turn your head and run back the field and set up a punt wall, or, they stayed where they had to make the play. And now it's the golden opportunity the Knights have been waiting for. It wasn't a turnover, but at the same time, it feels like a turnover that gives it back to Akron.
Also want to shout out our man, Sammy Torres, who's running our clock and scoreboard today for us as we are here announcing the game in Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Sammy back home running all the technical aspects for us too, and we thank him so much for being able to put on the graphic show that you see on your screen right now to give you guys a little bit more taste for the eyes, right, for this audio only broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be interesting. Now, the nice thing is it's an extended timeout because TV takes over. So now you get a few extra seconds, and if you're Hoban, you really want to catch your breath here and you want to go. you said it earlier, and I'm going to say it right now. Caleb Jones needs to be in that backfield, and you need a heavy dose of him. If they give him this ball 7 straight times and it ends with a touchdown, that's exactly what they need to do.
This is this is 7:33, right? State championship on the line. Everything you've worked for this entire season is to get to this point, and you just got to leave it all out on the field for a little while longer. Your best against my best. Let's see who's taking home the hardware.
Well, and let's think about it from this angle. If you're a Knights player, you were on this field last year. You know what that feeling is, and you don't want that feeling. And the only way you can change that is you have to have your absolute best drive of the game right now.
Knights looking for redemption, Massillon looking for validation. Both of those things on the line, more than just a game, more than just a championship on the line. This is the lifeblood of these two communities, these two football teams.
Yeah, absolutely. This is everything you did, whether it was lifting weights in January, running out there in the spring, hot 2-a-days, everything you've gone through comes down to this last 7 minutes and 33 seconds, and you got to get it done.
Knights football at the Massillon 42. Hoban comes out, single receiver, wide to that left. 2 bunched up near side, also to the left of Boykin, empty to the right. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones slips some tackles, carries some tacklers with him for about a gain of 4 on that first down carry.
Nice run by Jones as he just got on the inside there and kept churning and moving and moving. And I just like the way he runs that ball. It's just hard, and he wants to pound it in there, and he's not afraid of contact. And boy, does he cover that ball up. He gets both arms over it. And you can see the Tiger players. They're trying to punch at it and get it out. It just hasn't worked.
2 right, 1 left for the receivers. Jones in that backfield again. 1 moving in motion left to right. Handoff, trick play, looking to pass with another player trying to throw it away. A flag comes in. Tackle happens at the 45, and this flag might go against the Knights for holding. Let's see.
Oh.
That's a trick play as ended up with Xavier Williams, and Williams was looking to pass down the field. I know not an everyday passer, but you got to get rid of that at some point too.
Well, it's probably best that he didn't. They only had 1 guy out, and Massillon sniffed that one out because they had 2 guys on him. So you were going to put that up in double coverage, and it could have been a lot of trouble. And, I don't think they'll take the penalty. They'll take the play because that's a big loss of yards and a down.
So it's 3rd down, and now 15 to go for the Knights as penalties have leaned heavily in favor of Massillon Washington being the more disciplined team today. Knights trying to convert a big 3rd down. Empty backfield. 4 receivers left of Boykin. Snap, roll to that left. Get the blockers in front of him. Boykin following him close to that 1st down marker. He's shy by about a yard.
Well, it's definitely going to be 2 down territory, and give Boykin all the credit in the world, and I think he's down.
He is a little slow to get up, is Boykin, and looks like he might have had the wind knocked out of him. Nothing really he's pointing to right now, but might have just got kind of compacted.
It looked like when he come down, the ball was right there in that chest area, and he just kind of pounced down on it, and but he's going to have to come out this play, and right now you're down to your biggest play of the game at 6:14 to go, and you got papers that just don't like you.
I know. Right, I mean, they're falling all over the place, right? It's ridiculous right now. But no, Tylen Boykin Juice, he's been a gamer this entire game. I mean, not obviously the most impressive stat performance wise, but still just keeping his team into this game and hasn't really given it away to the Tigers. That was a big run there in that 3rd and 15 situation. Got 14 back and gave Hoban a chance to even go for it here on 4th.
Yeah, and if you're going to bring in a backup quarterback for this play, I think I'd be doing a few practice snaps over there on the sideline because this is it. This could be your season right now. And
with Tylen having to come out, do you elect to go with an old tush push here, get your big guys up and just push the pile and try to get a yard on a first?
If it's a play they've practiced, I don't have a problem with it. If it's a play they've never done, I'm not sure I want to try it because you've got to have everything lined up. You got to try and, just make execution has to be perfection. So
how many plays you have in that back pocket that can get you 1 yard on the gridiron is the question Coach Terrell and the Hoban staff are asking themselves right now.
Well, and I got to think, what Massillon's going to do on this play. They're going to sell out. They're going to do everything they can to penetrate, cause havoc. If you're Hoban, you've got to find a way to gain a yard and move those sticks.
Hoban desperately needing one to continue this drive and keep their season alive. Stacking it up, one receiver each way, needing a yard. 4th and 1 prior to the snap. The Tigers wanted a look at what the offense was doing, and they take a timeout.
Now I have a question. Since they took a timeout, can Juice come back in? I believe he can.
So I think you're right, too. I think you are right. That's my understanding of the OHSAA rules. So, again, it's a give and take, right? It's a tick for tack kind of situation. Yeah. Do you want to take that timeout after you see what the offense looks like, but you bring Juice back in? I doubt they set up in a similar look than what they already did.
If I'm Massillon, because the quarterback in on that play was Victor Clark. He's a junior. I'm sure he's played a little bit, but I'm going to let him take that snap because now Juice comes back in.
As this is going to be very interesting, both teams in their respective huddles. As both the Knights and the Tigers have played up until 6:05 left to go here in this 4th quarter of play, and potentially the biggest play of the game coming up right here.
Okay, so they still brought in, I guess they didn't allow him because Victor Clark is still the quarterback.
Got that single receiver each way. Plenty of blockers in front of Clark. Calls for the snap, hands it off, looking to push the pile. The Knights get the first down to the 30 on the carry. I believe it was Caleb Jones who gets the first.
Mr. Jones with the biggest snap of the game so far. Just put his head down and said, follow me to the marker. Gets it done. He got it past it by a yard too. So that's exactly what Hoban needed to do, and they get it done.
As you're at 5:45 and ticking, and now the Knights going to sell out, you feel like, it with this drive. They want to eat up all the clock that they can, too, and just sell out for that end zone. Snap from the shotgun, back on the ground game, and not much running room, but Jones just keeps churning and turns what would have been a 1-yard loss into a 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9.
He just does not come down when that first contact gets it to him, and he just keeps moving and grinding. He is so tough to bring down. You know, you only get a yard on that play, but again, you just want to keep that ball moving in positive direction at this point.
2nd down and 9. This is game time now. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left, 1 to the left, and a tight end also to the left of Boykin. Empty in that backfield prior to flag is thrown, and it's offsides. And
wow.
And the first penalty defensively against the Tigers, and they can't believe it.
That's a big 5 yards. I mean, it changes the situation. You know, you go from 2nd and 9 to 2nd and 4. You know, it opens up things. And if you're Massillon, you don't want to give Hoban 5 free yards because it just keeps them just moving in that direction that they need to go.
2nd down and 4 now for the Knights. 4:45 and ticking, 4th quarter. Empty backfield, same set as last. Albert Hill moving in motion left to right, gets the carry on the jet sweep, gets tackled, though, at the 25-yard line. So no gain, and maybe even a loss of a half yard to a full yard on that one by Hill.
Well played there by Massillon as they were able to just string that play out where before he was able to turn that up in there and pick up 3-4 yards when they were running it. That time Massillon was right there on the spot. They were able to just fight through the defenders and make a good tackle.
At the 25-yard line, 3rd and 5 for Hoban. Needing to get to that Massillon 24 first. Similar look again in this set. Again, Albert Hill into motion. This time Boykin keeps it. Boykin fights for that first down inside the 20. Move the chains for the Knights.
Wow. He put his head down. It looked like he might get stopped short, but all of a sudden just fought his way, gets past his chains, gets an extra yard, move them, 3 more downs.
As red zone now of Massillon, Washington are the Knights. 3:38 ticking, fourth quarter of play. Knights on the move after getting another first. One receiver near side of the field to the right. Trips also forming to the right. Single backfield for Boykin. He hands it off to Jones. Jones pushes up the middle, doesn't go down on first contact, second contact, or even third. It takes a whole reinforcements of 4 Tigers to bring him down after a carry of 5.
Yeah, when they look at that, like, how's it like to tackle Caleb Jones? I don't like it. And it takes 4 guys, and just the effort that they're putting in. And you look back to just the way this half has gone, you feel like Hoban's had the ball the majority of the time, and they're just kind of wearing down that Tigers defense.
Second down and 5. Snap out of the shotgun for Boykin. Back to Jones on the ground. Jones gets to the first down. He avoids the tackle. They pulled him back. They're going to give him forward progress, though, on that. And he's going to be shy of the first down marker, but not by much. Looks like about a yard is what they say.
Yeah, good run there. Sets up 3rd and short. And right now, if I'm Massillon, I got to wonder, do I start to take my timeouts? Because they're eating this clock away. When this ball gets snapped, it could be around 2 minutes, 10 seconds, Ty.
2:15 to go. Knights 1 receiver each way. Extra blockers in front of Boykin. The snap, miss snap. Boykin can't get on it, and the Tigers fall on the fumble, and that might spell the end. No, I think, hold on.
Caleb Jones.
Hoban did get it. I thought the Tigers jumped on that.
Wow.
Mike. Jones saved it, at least temporarily.
That would have been the game.
But now this is the game. 4th down, minute 48 and ticking. Tigers getting up, getting loud. They can feel it. Minute 35 to go. Knights 1 each way. Extra blockers in front again. 3rd and 8 from the 17 of the Tigers. Snap out of the shotgun, looking to pass. Boykin rolls out to his right. Toss to the end zone, and it's dropped in the end zone. No good. It was in the hands of number 18, Brayton Feaster, but couldn't clinch, or number 80, 81, Jackson Calloway, but couldn't clinch it. As in and out of the hands, and a minute 22, and the Tigers to get it back.
Validation, because what's coming right now is 3 knee downs. Hoban can't stop it.
They can't. No timeouts left. And the Knights driving all the way inside that 20. That missed snap happened, and then immediately after, they had a touchdown pass that was not to be, dropped in the end zone that could have put them on top. Minute 22, knee from Owens. That's the first.
No, we're going to have a timeout by Massillon, I believe, because they did not have enough players on the field. They had to take a timeout there. They were running guys on while they're trying to snap it. That actually should have been a penalty.
And they took at minute 21 is what's going to be left on the clock with that timeout taken by the Tigers. So they're going to hit their respective sidelines, but you hit the nail on the head, Mike. This is essentially 3 kneel downs and a state championship for the Tigers.
Wow. First one in the playoff era of Ohio high school football. 25th overall, though, for the Tigers.
As Hoban breaking that huddle defensively, they're out there. Credit to both of these teams' defenses, right? I mean, they played a whale of a game. Only one offensive score this entire game came from the Tigers on a short field position and a penalty that followed, too. Other than that, it's been pretty much a stalemate at defense against offense.
It really has, and both teams have, give the defenses a lot of credit. If you're Hoban, though, right now, your heart just feels for these kids because
the knee down.
That is a tough way to lose.
First knee down for the Tigers, as that will click it down to about 40 seconds.
One more.
And then there's one more.
And you can just feel, you can hear the energy right below us here because the Massillon faithful are here. They're about to let out the biggest yell and happiness that I think they've had in a long time. "53 years.
It's been quite some time. As the knee down, and that should do it. Both teams still staying on the field. I think they're going to take one. They might take one more. They're saying stay on the field still. I don't know if they're going to contain them,
There
though.
goes the water shower.
The water shower happens. 53 years of anguish is no more. For the first time since 1970, the Massillon Washington Tigers are your state champions in the state of Ohio.
Wow. Speechless right now. I mean, this game lived up to the hype from a defensive standpoint. My heart goes out to the Hoban Knights because to come here 2 years in a row and come away empty-handed is just gut-wrenching. But you got to just see the sense of jubilation that's right below us. There's people crying. There's adults crying.
This is, as we've talked about in the hype up for this, right? These are the lifebloods of these communities. You go down to Massillon, Ohio, which is just stone's throw away from here, 7 miles away from this stadium.
Yes.
I don't think you go into a local mom and pop shop, even the big chain stores, and don't see black and orange everywhere. It is what these people identify as. And for years, they've been wanting that playoff championship. They've been wanting that validation for 53 years. They know they're a good football team. They wanted some hardware to prove it. They just got it here in 2023.
Well, and it was a program that was knocking on the door. I mean, they had 3 straight finals that they made here, I believe was 18, 19, and 20. Twice they lost to Hoban in the finals. And, you know, to finally get over that hurdle and win this, I mean, it's massive for the community. It's massive for the school, for the players involved. I mean, they go down in history. They're the first team to win a state championship on the field. And that doesn't take away from the other 24. Don't get me wrong, because those teams were probably really, really good. But this is special. This is something that, you know, will never be forgotten. You know, there's going to be a baby born down in Massillon tonight, and the first thing they're done as soon as it's put in its crib, they'll be putting a football in there. That's tradition. That's the way it works down there. And you live for that. For the Hoban Knights, Tim Terrell, I mean, if there's anybody that, you know, he'll pep this team up. He knows he's got to say goodbye to a lot of good seniors. But if there's ever a team that's going to bounce back, it'll be this one.
I fully expect that this is it's not the first, and it's definitely not the last time we will see the Massillon Washington Tigers and the Archbishop Hoban Knights meet in a prolific game like this one here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, if you look at it now, I mean, this is the 3rd time they've played in a state championship game, and it's a 2-1 favor of Hoban. They just happen to lose the most recent one. And if you're Massillon, I mean, you can just look at it. I mean, there isn't a person sitting down over here. There isn't a person that's not clapping and cheering. That football team, the cheerleaders, everybody out in the field, the coaching staff, there is a sense of relief because not a lot of people thought that they could come here and win, while there was also some people that thought Hoban had no shot. Well, Hoban gave them everything they had. They just self-destructed.
We were hearing all kinds of scores in the 20s, in the 30s in some cases. This turned out exactly how I felt like it was going to. When you talk about two teams that have both allowed only over 7 points a game this season, you weren't expecting points out the wazoo. Not in the playoffs, not when the weather's like it is in the state of Ohio. Defense takes precedence. It takes center stage. We saw it. If you like old school football, you would have loved this game here tonight.
All this needed was a grass field, some mud, so you couldn't see the numbers, and it would have been perfect. But it was still just one of those games. And this one will go down. Years from now, people will say, oh, yeah, we won 59-53. It was 7-2. And trust me, all 9 of those points that went on the board were hard fought for. And we could say something. If Hoban doesn't give a penalty up, it could be 2-0. But if Massillon runs the quarterback under center when they're at their quarter-inch line, it might not be a safety. this could still be a 0-0 game.
It very well could have been. Well, Mike, we've kind of gotten up to this point. Time to put a bow on it. Final thoughts from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in this one.
It's been a great football season. It's been so much fun here at YSN. We're glad for everybody that listens and all our partners and all our sponsors and everybody. We can't appreciate you. And, you know, you got to love it. You know, you're already congratulating Massillon, and, you know, and I always like the way you sign off. Hey, maybe Massillon wants to join our family.
It very well could. Tiger family, Tiger faithful, I know plenty of you were listening out there tonight. We would love to have you as a part of the YSN family. It's completely free to join for schools, and we would love to have Massillon, Washington a part of the ride next football season. Congratulations to the Knights on a great football season. They will end the season 13-2 state runners-up. And a big congratulations to the Massillon, Washington Tigers, a perfect 16-0 campaign, and they cap it off with their first state championship in the playoff era here as 2023 Division II state champions. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and listening to this broadcast of high school football on ysnlive.com. To our proud owners, both DJ Yoakley and Brian Scott, who were able to bring this game to each and every person unable to make it in attendance tonight. To our GM, Steve Leslie, who with his work with Bob Scene Park Baseball, YSU Football, ysnlive.com, many hats that he wears, and we thank him for each and every single one of them. And most importantly, to all of you who tuned in and helped support these kids, schools, and communities. You guys are really and truly what YSN Live is all about, and so we thank you. If you were tuning in from that Massillon community supporting your Tigers, we want to thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the ride here on YSN, and want to remind you once again, YSN Live is a completely free service to schools. So if you want to find out how to get YSN involved at your school, contact us. Email us, in fact, info@ysnlive.com. That is info@ysnlive.com, or contact your school's athletic director to find out more. Or if you're back home in the Akron community supporting your Archbishop Hoban Knights, we want to thank you for your continued and constant support of all Archbishop Hoban athletics, but not only that, but also ysnlive.com, as we look forward to another season of Archbishop Hoban football, and we look forward to winter season with the boys and girls basketball as well. So a big thanks to Sammy running all the graphics, the score, the time back home. We thank him. He's Mike Ackelson. I'm Ty Bartell. We're bidding you all a farewell and a good night, everybody. Congratulations to the Tigers.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.